into The Drive with Carrington Harrison.
Back-to-back best sports talk hosts as voted on in the Pitch magazine.
Live from the Fan Studios, here's C-Dot.
Let's do this. Another day, another dollar, another edition of The Drive. You were listening to The Drive on 96.5 The Fan, 96.5thefan.com, and also the Odyssey app. My name is Carrington Harrison. Excited to be here with you on this wonderful, wonderful Friday. We have a lot to get into. Coming up in about 30 minutes, we are happy to be joined by the player who I think has been the best college basketball player over the last 25 years. Tyler Hansborough will be on the show coming up in 30 minutes. He is going to be in town for PickleCon. For those of you that play pickleball, they have a PickleCon. Tyler Hansborough is there. He will be playing in the tournament. He is on to promote it. We'll also talk a little basketball with him as well. Again, I believe over the last 25 years, I believe that Tyler Hansborough was the best player in college basketball, so certainly an honor to get a chance to talk to him. That is coming up in just a bit. We will also talk about this Cowboys and Commanders situation, and it's almost like I am the only person that has been here before. We'll talk about that. We got Vern on the show. Vern is actually sitting down for an exclusive one-on-one with the owner and chairman of the Kansas City Royals, and John Sherman. He is doing that at 3. We are going to play that conversation in its entirety coming up in the 4 o'clock hour. So really happy to get a chance to talk to Vern and then play his conversation with the owner of the Kansas City Royals. Before we get into the Royals, I want to remind you guys of a couple of things. Number one, I need you listening to The Drive each day at 2 o'clock right here on 96.5 The Fan. I also need you to tell one friend to check out the show. It'd be great if you could tell 2 friends, but you know what? Beggars can't be choosers. Just tell one person to check out the show. And number 3, be sure to go stop by our friends over at The Other Places. They are now the sponsor of the opening segment of the show. It is brought to you by The Other Place with 5 metro locations serving great pizza for over 25 years right here in Kansas City. Be sure to stop by The Other Place and theotherplace.com. It is a new season for the Kansas City Royals. In some ways, I do not care what has happened prior to August 1st. The Royals have a chance. Now, the Royals don't have. We have broken the season down into stages. This is stage 1 for the Kansas City Royals. Now, I don't have to tell you guys, but I do have the numbers. The Royals have really struggled with opponents like they're going to play over the next week. The Royals this season are 25-37 against teams who are 500 or better. The Royals have struggled with the good teams. You cannot afford bad weeks anymore if you're the Kansas City Royals. That can completely eliminate you. A great week can get you back in it or have you in a favorable spot. A bad week can all but eliminate you. And next thing you know, you look up, you're 13 games out in the division and you're 6 or 7 games out in the wild card. There's no reason to talk about you making the postseason anymore. The Royals have 3 games in Toronto, who currently have the best record in the American League. They also go on the road and play 3 games in Boston against the Red Sox, a team that is directly ahead of you in the wild card hunt. If you want us to dream big and to hold on to the possibility of you having a special August and September, it starts this week in Toronto, in Boston, against 2 teams that on paper are quite simply better than you. You know how I say back in April that you can't make the playoffs in April, but you can miss out on the playoffs in April? I think you have to kind of boil that down. The Royals can't make the playoffs this week. Even if they win all 6 of these games, that does not guarantee that the Royals make the postseason. Now it puts you in a great spot. The Royals are probably either in the 3rd wild card spot or a game out of the 3rd wild card spot if they take care of business and do what they're supposed to do. But you certainly can eliminate yourself this week. And if the Royals can get through this stage, if they can get through Toronto and Boston, 2 of the better teams in the American League, you then come out on the other end, and that's when the schedule really opens up and it allows you to gobble up wins. Now, you got to win those games. It's one thing to say that these games are played on paper and hypothetical and theories, but you have to actually go out there and do the work, so to speak. So I just gave you the stat. The Royals are 25-37 against teams who are 500 or better. The Royals are 29-18 this season against teams who are below 500. They pummel bad teams. Well, you know what? After they get past this stretch, after they get past Toronto and Boston, they have Minnesota for 3 games. They have Washington. Washington has the second worst record in the National League. So they're just a regular bad team. Colorado is an historic bad team. Washington is a regular bad team. And then you also have the Chicago White Sox, a team that you have dominated over the last year and a half, a team that is currently 40-69. Nice. So look at this like stages for the next 2 weeks as we are in the middle of training camp, as we are heading towards preseason game number 1. It is now a fight to see if the Royals are going to continue to share some of the space with the Kansas City Chiefs, or are we preparing to make the full pivot into football season? This is a very important next 2-week stretch for the Kansas City Royals. You play some of the best teams in baseball in Toronto and Boston. You play some of the worst teams in baseball as Washington and Chicago. You cannot guarantee you make the playoffs during this stretch. You absolutely can miss the playoffs because of this stretch and because of you not either just going 500 against the good teams and gobbling up wins against the bad teams. You can't afford to lose series to the Nationals, not when you're playing from behind. You can't afford to lose another series to the Chicago White Sox, not when you're at a deficit. Just play 500 baseball in these next 6 games against Toronto and Boston. I don't care which 3 you win. I don't care which 3 you lose. Just try to go 500 in this stretch. And when you have that 9-game stretch, that's where you try to make up some of the ground and go 6-3, go 5-4, and start to chip away, get back to 500, get over 500, and give yourself a realistic shot of really being within striking distance in the later portion of the season and trying to make the postseason. We got a lot to get into in today's show. I do want to talk about Micah Parsons. I do want to talk about Terry McLaurin. I don't believe either one of those players are being traded. I think at this point it is just noise. We will get to that coming up in a bit. Vern will also be on the show. Also, we'll have Tyler Hansborough coming up in about 20 minutes or so. But before we do any of that, you guys know the rules. If we start the show talking Royals baseball, it can only mean one thing. Hit me, Rob.
We're where you want to be. Baseball with the Royals.
Carrington, in a weird twist of fate, today's Royals lineup takes us back to 2015, where the team, right after the deadline, headed to Toronto in a very odd full circle moment. Here was the Royals lineup post-trade deadline in 2015. By the way, on this date in Royals baseball, Johnny Cueto got his first Royals start up in the Rogers Center.
Great times.
Leading off, the shortstop, Alcides Escobar.
Some folks say I look like him.
Batting second at third base, Mike Moustakas.
Moose.
I have no recollection of Moose being a 2-hitter, but that's neither here nor there. Batting third, the center fielder, Lorenzo Kane.
Didn't he finish second in the American League MVP voting that
I
year
believe
behind
he did.
Mike Trout?
Mm-hmm. Batting fourth, the first baseman, Eric Hosmer. Batting fifth, the designated hitter, Kendrys Morales.
That's the kind of player the Royals need to pick up this offseason. They need to find a Kendrys Morales.
Batting sixth, in left field, Ben Zobrist.
Ben Zobrist is my favorite player from that Royals team.
By the way, you can tell this is post-deadline. Ned hadn't figured out that Zobrist is not a 6-hitter.
He should have been hitting 2.
He should have been. We'll figure it out. But on July 3rd, in the end of July, Ned didn't get it yet. Batting seventh, the catcher, Salvador Perez. Batting eighth, in right field, Alex Rios.
This is a really solid lineup. This is a really good team.
And batting ninth, the second baseman, Omar Infante.
They were working to get him off of the team.
By the way, the Royals did lose on this date despite
Did I miss Alex Gordon? Was he not playing this
Remember,
day?
he was hurt. He got hurt right before the deadline.
You're right. Because that was when Dyson played for a pretty prolonged stretch. You're right.
And then that's
bad.
when Zobrist showed up. He initially moved to left field.
For sure. Yeah, no, you're right. My bad.
By the way, the Royals lost on this date despite getting a nice effort from Cueto, who went 6, giving up 3 runs with 7 strikeouts. And then Madsen was really bad. Herrera made it worse, and the Royals lost on a Franklin Morales wild pitch. So the Royals lose on this date to the Toronto Blue Jays 7-6.
Coming up in about 20 minutes or so, we are going to be joined by Tyler Hansborough. In my opinion, he is the best college basketball player over the last 25 years. You know what we're going to do before we catch up with Tyler Hansborough? If you have missed any of training camp, I am going to wrap all of training camp up in just 10 minutes. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison, your home for the best food takes in KC.
Regular old American nachos. You know, I don't need jalapenos with mine, just chips, cheese.
Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this. 96.5 The Fan.
Back to school means back with friends. And Academy Sports and Outdoors has everything you need for the new year for less. Shop the latest styles from brands like Nike, Jordan, Wilson, Carhartt, and Birkenstock. Plus, check out our game-changing selection of backpacks. Save even more on the latest deals each week. Stop by your local store or shop academy.com. Academy Sports and Outdoors. Fun can't lose.
Hi, I'm Mitch Holtis, voice of the Chiefs. Be a part of history by attending Chiefs training camp in St. Joseph, Missouri this summer. See the Chiefs and make a St. Joe memory. Whether it's touring one of the many museums, staying in a historic home turned bed and breakfast, experiencing quality dining and brewery options, hitting the River Bluff bike trails, or supporting a vibrant art scene, St. Joseph has something for everyone. Go to stjomo.com to view or download a free visitor guide and plan your trip. Produced in cooperation with Visit Missouri.
Now is the perfect time to start on your next success. Apply now and save with no application fee. Classes start August 13th. An accredited state university, University of Maryland Global Campus offers online and hybrid courses. Plus, you can earn up to 90 credits toward a bachelor's for prior learning and work experience, or transfer up to 12 credits towards a master's. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chevy.
Go Yard all baseball season long with Underdog's Champions Game. Join the millions who have already won billions making plays on Underdog and be next to join one of the leading places to make all your sports selections that you can play in your state. To play, all you have to do is download the app. Choose whether you think a player will go higher or lower than their favorite stats. Home runs, strikeouts, total bases, and so much more. Once your entry feels good, you can play with as little as $1. And if you get everything right, you could win up to 1,000 times your money. That's right. If you bet $1, you could get up to 1,000 times your money. So you really could turn $1 into $1,000 with your baseball knowledge. Download the Underdog app. Sign up using that promo code TAPP, T-A-P-P, to unlock a special offer for up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you make your first deposit. That's promo code TAPP, T-A-P-P. Must be 18 plus and present in Missouri. Terms apply. See underdogfantasy.com/web/deposit-match-terms. Concern with your play. Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Visit www.ncpgambling.org.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Back to school is on the brain. That means new notebooks, pencils, new everything. And while the kids are getting ready to get book smart, it's time for you to save smart with Straight Talk Wireless. Switch now and get a free Moto G 2025 with 5G when you activate select plans. Now that's a smart call. Get Straight Talk covered by Verizon's 5G network. Available at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Offer valid through 10/19/25. Taxes and fees apply. Purchase of gold unlimited plan or higher required for offer. Must activate the plan in-store at Walmart. Cannot be combined with other offers.
When you've got real work to do, Metal Supermarkets will help you get it done fast. With a huge variety of metals in stock, we can help no matter what job comes your way. And we cut to size, because just like taxes and BS, we think metal is better when cut. Metal Supermarkets, the convenient stores for metal. Find a store or shop online at metalsupermarkets.com.
DQ presents The Sound of Happy. Hear that? That's the DQ Chicken Strip Basket. Only $7.49 for a limited time. We're talking 4 100% white meat seasoned chicken strips served with fries, Texas toast, and DQ signature country gravy. Yeah, you heard that right. For crunch time in no time, it can only be the DQ Chicken Strip Basket. Just $7.49 for a limited time. Get it delivered in the DQ app. Happy tastes good at participating locations.
Hey, what's up, flies? This is David Spade.
Dana Carvey.
Look, I know we never actually left, but I'll just say it. We are back with another season of Fly on the Wall.
Every episode, including ones with guests, will now be on video. Every Thursday, you'll hear us and see us chatting with big-name celebrities.
And every Monday, you're stuck with just me and Dana. We react to news, what's trending, viral clips.
Follow and listen to Fly on the Wall everywhere you get your podcasts.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios.
Hey, it's Rashee Rice from the Kansas City Chiefs. Welcome back to The Drive with C-Dot on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
All right, we're going to talk a little Chiefs training camp before we catch up with Tyler Hansborough. We will get back to the Royals. Vern will be on the show. The owner of the Kansas City Royals will play his conversation with Vern. We're going to have a lot of Royals conversations for you. We led the show with how important of a stretch this is for the Royals. The Royals are 25-37 against teams who are 500 and better. Their next 6 games are against those teams. The Royals can't afford to go 1-5 in this stretch. They cannot afford to go 1-5. I mean, I would say 2-4 is also a bad outcome for the Royals, but you can at least manage the 2-4. You just got to probably sweep one of these other teams. At this point, I don't know if you're asking too much of the Royals. They haven't been over 500 in a month or so, and you're playing from behind the 8 ball. There's not a lot of time left. There's 2 months left in the baseball season. Like, you were going to blink, and next thing you know it, baseball season's going to be over. And when you are playing as well as the Royals are currently playing, and the offense has appeared to have a little bit of a hot streak, you got to try to keep that going. It does not matter which one of these next 2 series you win. You have to win one of these 2 series. You either go on the road and upset Toronto, you take 2 out of 3 from Boston, you come back after going just 3-3 in those, all right, cool. And then you got to try to win those series against Washington, Chicago, or Minnesota, a team right now that just Minnesota appears to have waved the white flag. Minnesota looks like a team that is just willing to play out the rest of the string. I saw them send out 9 thank yous yesterday for guys who have left the organization. They appeared to have a fire sale yesterday, so the Royals should be able to take care of business against them. We'll get back to baseball coming up in just a bit. You know that we are the show that loves to discuss running backs. Now, you guys know one of the small complaints that I had about the Chiefs offseason is I wish they were more active in the offseason when it came to running back. The Chiefs really didn't do anything at the position. They are trusting that they're going to get a much better version of Isaiah Pacheco than they had last year. They're counting on Kareem Hunt being back and being very productive this season. They brought in Elijah Mitchell from the San Francisco 49ers as that kind of Jerick McKinnon third running back type, and they drafted a running back in the 7th round in Brashard Smith. I wanted them to invest a little bit more resources at the position. You didn't need to spend a lot of money in free agency, but this was a running back class that a lot of people liked. R.J. Harvey, Omarion Hampton. There were a lot of guys, a lot of names that we threw out there. I mean, there was an opportunity for them to get DJ Giddens. There's an opportunity for them to get Devin Neal. They passed on both of those opportunities and chose to get the linebacker, Jeffrey Bassa. We've already gone over that. I'm asking this question about the running backs before we kind of summarize training camp. Have you heard anything about their running backs? Like, think about the storylines that have really emerged from camp. You've heard a lot of conversation about Tyquan Thornton. He has had a good camp so far. We spent a lot of time talking about Josh Simmons. He has gotten some major praise from really everybody over the last 2 weeks, and I think it's been well-earned and well-deserved by him. Have you heard really anything about that running back room? Pacheco looks to be healthy. This isn't really, I would say, a scenario in which you're really going to be oohed and awed by Kareem Hunt. That's not really his game and what I think really works for training camp. But last year, and maybe this was just a scarcity at the position, like Carson Steele's name was starting to pick up a little bit of buzz. Haven't really seen that yet. Now, they haven't played a game yet. It's also early in training camp, But, man, if there's something as we are a week away from the Chiefs actually taking the field against somebody else and playing a game, man, I would feel really good if either Elijah Mitchell or Brashard Smith made a little bit of noise, had a little bit of buzz and energy around them. I'm just not really feeling it right now. Rob, have you seen anything about their running back room? Because there's not many questions I think you can have about the Chiefs coming into the season. The running back room is one of the questions. I just haven't really heard anything about the position over the last 10 days since they've been up there.
Which I don't want to sound like an alarmist because it's August 1st. But for a position that, at least this show, spent the offseason saying was not good enough last year, and then after the offseason concluded, me and you came to the same result, I don't think they did enough to fix the position. I would like to hear at least some camp buzz. Ooh, Brashard Smith looked great on a wheel route. Oh, can you believe he's great out of the backfield? His vision's incredible. Maybe I know we got a little bit of that with Kareem Hunt's in great shape. He cut out Swedish Fish, but outside of that, you haven't seen, hey, Kareem Hunt found the fountain of youth. You've heard a little bit about Pacheco having big goals, but that's about it. Is Elijah Mitchell at camp? I haven't heard anything about him. He's an idea. He's a figment of your imagination right now. So maybe this is just me seeing things through the lens of this show. But I feel like the Chiefs did not address running back strong enough in the offseason, and I would have liked to heard some buzz that, oh, the things they did were big because it's working at camp. Instead, I've heard a lot of more of the same from the position.
Yeah, no, I just haven't really heard a whole lot about it. That's just something that I'm going to kind of be keeping an eye on as training camp continues to progress. And I like to hear a little something from Brashard Smith. He was a guy that people were kind of high on coming out of SMU, certainly with an ability to catch it out of the backfield. Again, it's very early on. I don't think this is really an indication of anything with the team. But, I feel like a lot of the other positions are kind of starting to pop a little bit. I don't know if their running back room has really popped a whole lot so far in the early part of camp. We're going to be joined by Tyler Hansborough coming up in about 8 minutes or so. We'll play that for you. Before we get there, I just want to update you guys on if you've missed anything at Chiefs training camp. Well, that's why we're here, just to update you on everything that is going on with the Chiefs. I want to play 2 pieces of audio for you guys. One of these pieces of audio is from yesterday. We had Jeff Allen on the show. Highly would encourage you to go check it out on the podcast page. I mean, Joshua Simmons has been the storyline, the conversation of Chiefs training camp. It is not close to me between that and any other story. We came into this training camp with an uncertainty around left tackle. Now, there still is an uncertainty, but that's because we just haven't seen him on the field yet. But I don't really know if you can have more hype, buzz, or anticipation for an offensive lineman than I think what you're hearing around Josh Simmons. And when somebody like Jeff Allen, who played on the offensive line in the NFL for a handful of years, when he makes a comparison to Trent Williams, I think you got to really pay attention to the source of Jeff Allen, a guy whose football opinion I respect very much, and the comparison that he made to Trent Williams, who I think is the best left tackle of his generation.
Trent Williams, without a doubt. And the biggest thing that makes him comparable to Trent is the efficiency of his movement. Trent is a really freak athlete, so is Josh, but they make it look so easy. I'm telling you, being able to get out of your stance and meet a defensive end at that spot or that injunction between the quarterback and yourself, it's not easy to do. That's why you see guys get beat off the edge. They can turn that corner. But with Josh and Trent, you never have to worry about them getting beat around the corner. So you're going to have to run through him. You're not going to be able to go underneath him because he's in the perfect position every single time.
That was Jeff Allen yesterday on the show. I want to play this audio for you. This is from A.Q. Shipley. He was on the Pat McAfee show. He believes that the Chiefs have found their left tackle.
The kid they got out of Ohio State, I said this after the draft whenever you had me on the show. I said he was a top 10 pick. Josh Simmons, left tackle. The clips of him coming out he is a top 10 pick if he doesn't get hurt against Oregon last year. They get him with literally one of the last picks of the first round, and he is going to be their franchise left tackle for the next 10 to 12 years. And they got an absolute steal with him. The clips coming out of him, here it is. Look, he's just shutting guys down. And he makes it look smooth. He's throwing guys like
little dog.
Yeah, he's got a little dog in him. I mean, he was arguably the best tackle in the draft before he gets hurt. He gets to go late to Kansas City in the first round. They got an absolute steal. It was an injury that a lot of teams were concerned with, but I mean, he's young. He's coming back. He looks fierce. He's smooth as can be. He's athletic. He's strong. He's got the size. This could be a key piece for the Kansas City Chiefs.
We had Nate Taylor on the show yesterday, and he said that this is the most hype around a Chiefs draft pick since Isaiah Pacheco. Now, obviously, on a different scale, Isaiah Pacheco was a 7th-round running back, but if you remember, a few years ago, when Isaiah Pacheco was at camp, it was pretty clear that the Chiefs had found something with Isaiah Pacheco. I remember it very vividly. That offseason, Brett Veach said that he believed that there was an 1,000-yard rusher in rounds 5, 6, and 7. Now, I know that Isaiah Pacheco has not run for 1,000 yards. I mean, he ran for 930, has shown you the ability to catch the ball out of the backfield, and has been a starting running back for 2 Super Bowl teams. So I think he ended up being very proven correctly when it came to Isaiah Pacheco. So a lot of the hype, a lot of the early buzz has been around their left tackle. I would say that there are 3 positions that are locked in. Joshua Simmons at left tackle, Creed Humphrey obviously at center, also Trey Smith obviously at right guard. And now we are trying to figure out the other 2 spots. Now, there is a camp battle, sort of, when it comes to right tackle. Is it going to be Jalen Moore, a guy that you gave $21 million guaranteed to and has not yet to play for your team? Or is it going to be Jawaan Taylor, who is the 2nd highest paid player currently on the team? Taylor was on the PUP list until he wasn't on the PUP list, and then when they put the pads on, he has been playing. I read today that there has been a rotation for the Chiefs over at right tackle. It's been a little bit of Moore. It's been a little bit of Jawaan Taylor. But for the most part, I would at least say going into it, I would say that Jawaan Taylor has to be considered the favorite at right tackle. That's not what I would do if I was the Chiefs. If I was the Chiefs and I thought it was close between the 2, I believe that Jalen Moore would be the right decision because it would give you a 2-year space of continuity for the Chiefs' offensive line. If that's the offensive line they put out there, that's the one that we think would be the 2026 offensive line. If you have Kingsley at left guard and then you put Jalen Moore over at right tackle, having the ability to have the same 5 grow together over a 2-year stretch would be really enticing to me. But Nate made this point yesterday, and I certainly agree with them. It's not likely that you have all 5 offensive linemen play all 17 games in the regular season. Somebody gets injured. Somebody misses time. That's kind of the nature of playing football. So it seems to me, at least my prediction and how I think this is playing itself out, I believe that Jalen Moore is going to be the swing tackle, emergency break-in case, 6th offensive lineman for this team. I do believe that their offensive line is going to include Kingsley Suamataia over at left guard and Jawaan Taylor at right tackle. Now, I think it is important to note, and we have certainly seen the Chiefs will not hesitate to make a change at the position, especially regarding Kingsley Suamataia. If he's not good early on in the season, I don't think that's his job. He is the favorite currently at the job. They've given him all the reps for that to be his job. But if he gets off the gates slowly, I don't think they will hesitate to make a change over at left guard. I don't think they'll hesitate to make a change at right tackle if something goes poorly. You might have the job in August, but I certainly think the Chiefs have put you on notice about what their configuration can be. I don't think that's the case for the other 3 offensive linemen. I think that is the case for Kingsley Suamataia and Jawaan Taylor, that yes, this is a position that you might have in August. I don't know necessarily if you're going to have that same position in October or November, and we'll see how things play themselves out. We'll continue to talk about Chiefs training camp. We'll also continue to talk about the Royals, but earlier today, I got a chance to catch up with, in my opinion, over the last 25 years, he has been the best player in college basketball. We got a chance to be joined by Tyler Hansborough. Tyler Hansborough is going to be in town for PickleCon. We asked him, what got you into pickleball?
So my brother played a lot of tennis. I played a lot of ping pong, and so naturally pickleball was kind of the middle ground for us. And there was no way I was going to pick up tennis, anytime soon. It requires a lot of skill. And so, the thing about pickleball is everybody, you can pick up and play pretty much your first time. And it's pretty easy sport to pick up, and it's a very addicting sport. And so we both started playing. Then we got into some family battles, and, our family got involved. His wife, his wife's sister, and we just started going at it, and we've been playing ever since.
Who's somebody notable that you've played pickleball against? You said it's been a family thing, but you're right. This thing has really broadened out. A lot of people are playing pickleball. Have you had some great wars against somebody?
Well, pickleball, you never judge a book by its cover, first of all. I've been humbled many a times by the retirement community at Ephesus Park in Chapel Hill, North Carolina, when I first started playing. Some notable people, you think you're getting better, and there's one of the best players in the world, Colin Schick, he was in med school at UNC, and so I'd come across him every once in a while, and I got an opportunity to play him in town, and it's just amazing how good some of these top professional pickleball players are, and you just really can't describe how much better they are than just even a good average recreational player.
I would imagine that these games get really competitive. Like, you don't make it to the level of basketball that you made it at without being a fiercely competitive person. I'm guessing that this still gives you a lot of those same competitive juices and vibes when you get a chance to go up against either former teammates, former classmates, or your brother.
Absolutely. Pickleball can get the best of you emotionally. I've had a lot of outbursts that I'm not proud of and said some things I'm ashamed of saying, but that's just pickleball. Trash talking, and, there's a social aspect. You meet a lot of different people, but it is very competitive, and believe me, when I play, I want to win. Naturally, I just want to win, if there's a competition, but especially with the amount of money I've poured into pickleball and how much I've worked on my game, I definitely want to see some winning results.
So we had Sharon Collins on the show a couple of weeks ago when I asked him to make his KU starting five. I want you to do the same exercise at North Carolina. We don't got to go historical. We don't got to go Michael Jordan, James Worthy, but just guys over the last 25 years, guys from your freshman year until now. If you had to create your own starting five at North Carolina, what would it be?
I'd have to go Ty Lawson. I played with him. Unbelievable player. National champion. Man, I can't remember when Antoine Jamison retired or when he left school. I'm not sure if he falls in that 25-year category. I'm going to put him on hold. Myself, Sean May, I'm going to go big. I'm going to put Antoine in there if he falls in that 25-year gap. And we got to have a shooter. So I'm going to put Wayne Ellington in there as well. Is that 5 or 6?
No, that's 5. That's a solid 5. That 5 is giving anybody's alumni, that 5 is giving them trouble.
All right, perfect. I like it.
What is it like to be a part of such a rich history and tradition at North Carolina? You mentioned some of the great alums. I mean, Michael Jordan went there. Vince Carter went there. Sam Perkins, James Worthy. Your name is among them. You were one of the greatest players to ever play at North Carolina. What is it like to be a part of that fraternity?
So I met the criteria to get my jersey retired my junior year. And it's funny because I laugh even thinking about, when I used to look up at the jerseys in the rafters, I actually laughed when I saw my name next to like Jordan and, Antoine and those guys, just because I consider them, it's just like, they're like gods to me almost, because I was such a basketball fan, and to see my name up there with, some of the all-time greats, I'm super honored to be up there. But those guys, made Carolina what it is, and, I put a lot of work into my game, so knowing that, my jersey's up there with some of the greats, it represents a lot of people in my community and a lot of people who have been there with me throughout my basketball journey.
I mean, you're kind of the last of a dying breed in college basketball. Like, we're around the same age, but, like, we got a chance to, like, see your game grow and mature, and the highs and lows and the battles that you had against Duke or against Kansas or against those teams, and you stayed all 4 years. I don't feel like there's many players like you in college basketball anymore.
Well, they're staying 4 years, but not at the same school. Maybe even longer nowadays. It is different. The landscape has definitely changed, and I agree with that. I think the quality of basketball has taken a hit, in my personal opinion. And what I don't like about it is, in particular, the portal. I think that kids aren't getting coached like they used to. I think there's a lot of value, into a kid being under the same coach for 4 years and having a tough coach really coach them, discipline them, and teaching them the game. So I don't see, pretty much, the improvement kind of like all college basketball fans used to see from a freshman year kid to a senior year kid. And, I don't like that aspect, but, I think playing for Coach Williams for 4 years, I was in a very good situation, and I got to play for, one of the greatest coaches ever, and I learned a lot, and it's helped me shape me as a person and as a player.
You mentioned the transfer portal. NIL is also a major part of today's game as well. Do you think about the amount of money that you would have got for your senior year to come back to school and play in North Carolina? You would have been the highest paid player in college basketball. You'd have been in a bunch of commercials in 2008, 2009.
I would have loved to have a little extra cash. I don't know anybody that doesn't want more money. But you know what? I would rather have the experience that I had at UNC, and I mean that. I don't think that my team would have stayed together for 4 years, and I wouldn't have had the experience I had. I made a lot of money in the NBA and playing basketball, which is, if you're good enough, eventually that will take care of itself. But, no, I don't think my team would have stayed together, and we wouldn't have had, the same experience it was during the NIL era.
A couple of questions about your career. Number one, what made you wear number 50? Like, whenever you were a kid and they were assigning numbers, 50 was not the number a lot of kids gravitated towards. Like, you wanted 21 or 23 or 15. What made you grab number 50?
Everyone says, why'd you wear 50? It's not my number. It's my older brother's number, Greg, who is, he's, that's one of my best friends, my brother, and he's been an inspiration to me my whole life. So we played high school basketball together, and my freshman year I wore, I think, 11, and he wore 50. And so whenever he left, I said, man, I got to take Greg's number. So I wore 50, and that's why I picked number 50.
Someone had to give you the nickname Psycho T. Who was the first person to call you that, and why do you think it's stuck?
It called like wildfire. Psycho T. So the person that gave me that nickname does not call me Psycho T anymore. He said it became new mainstream. It's a close friend of mine now, but it was a strength coach at UNC. I was a very quiet, shy kid growing up. But in the weight room, I'd kind of pump myself up, just like everybody does. And it's a place where you can, grunt a little bit and yell a little bit. And I did that. And he said, man, you're crazy. You're quiet and you come in here and yell. So he called me Psycho T. And I have no idea why it stuck, but people love that nickname. I don't mind it. I don't really care either way.
And that is Tyler Hansborough joining us on the show today. In my money, for the last 25 years, I think that Tyler Hansborough was the best player in college basketball. He won a championship in 2009. He was the National College Player of the Year in 2008, a consensus All-American all 4 years while he was in school, and his number is retired by North Carolina. Tyler, it was truly an honor to have you join us today, man. Really appreciate your time, and good luck at PickleCon.
Thanks, guys. Come check us out. It's going to be fun. We're going to put on a good show, so I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely. I got a chance to catch up with Tyler Hansborough. I know this might be sacrilegious to say this because this player went to Duke. I think Tyler Hansborough is our version of Christian Laettner. Like, I'm just trying to think of, like, who the historical comparison would be. I think he's the 2000s version of Christian Laettner. Like, everything Laettner accomplished in the 90s, I think that's what Tyler Hansborough did. I just don't know if we have that player anymore in college basketball. To the point that he made, that player either transfers and isn't in the same school for all 4 years, or that player just eventually goes off to the NBA. So I do think, and I hope, that one of the benefits of name, image, and likeness, and one of the benefits right now of the way the system is I just think that college basketball needs more of these players. Like, college basketball was at its best when there were heroes and villains, guys that made you feel something. Tyler Hansborough was kind of one of those players. J.J. Redick was one of those players. Christian Laettner was one of those players. Remember, Marshall Henderson was kind of one of those players. Zion was one of those guys. Like, just somebody that just gave you feeling and emotion. I hope that we can get that back in college basketball. Coming up on the other end, major NFL news. ESPN is buying up NFL Red Zone. What does that mean? Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison. Watch the show on YouTube by subscribing to the 965 YouTube channel. The Drive, brought to you by DM Entry Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Entry Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this. 96.5, The Fan.
Summer is here, and that means longer days and warm nights, rooftop dinners, spontaneous getaways, vacation season, and romance is in the air. But if you're dealing with erectile dysfunction, all that excitement, it can feel like pressure and like you're missing out on something. Well, look, you're not alone. And more importantly, there's help that's out there, especially with my friends over at Heartland Men's Health. They specialize in ED treatments that work even when the pills and the herbals don't, with a success rate of over 90%. Some guys even last an hour or more. Summer should feel unforgettable, romantic, confident, not stressful. If your sex life is just good enough, then why should you settle? Your first visit is just $99, including a full medical consult, testosterone, and a PSA test, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if it doesn't work right there in the office, then your visit is on the house. Visit the website, heartlandmenshealth.com. With offices in Overland Park, Independence, and North Kansas City, you can get back in action as soon as tomorrow. Don't let ED steal your summer away. Reclaim it, and you can do that with Heartland Men's Health.
Do you have $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is letting everyone know about great debt relief options now available to help people with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of your credit card debt. Get a free debt relief consultation when you call 800-586-4040. 800-586-4040. 800-586-4040.
At Target, back-to-school-a-days are here. What is back-to-school-a-days, you ask? We're talking 7 days of deals on looks and styles the kids will love, at prices you'll love even more. Because back-to-school at Target means getting all of the above. Through August 2nd, save 25% on select kids' clothes, with additional savings to round out their looks, including uniforms, leggings, polos, and activewear. Plus, their new favorite backpacks are 30% off. Happy back-to-school-a-days, now through August 2nd, only at Target. Terms and conditions apply.
Hey, hello. Listen to my voice talking to you about the new Old Spice NFL collection at Walmart. Now listen to my smell. I smell like NFL stars Jared Goff, CeeDee Lamb, Saquon Barkley, CJ Stroud, and George Kittle. I smell like greatness. Why? Because I'm wearing Old Spice's new NFL collection. How can you put the greatness of the NFL into a smell, you ask? You can't. But Old Spice can. And they did. Smell like Suntal and Speed, Driftwood and Drive, Sea Ties and Toughness with the Old Spice NFL collection available at Walmart. Smell like the greatest smell in the NFL with Old Spice.
Do Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keep coming back? Tremfya, guselkumab, may help, with rapid remission achieved at 12 weeks and lasting clinical remission at 1 year. Some even saw visible improvement of their intestinal lining at 12 weeks and 1 year. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Healing is possible with Tremfya. Approximately 3 out of 10 patients were in endoscopic remission at 1 year, based on areas visualized on colonoscopy, which may not represent the deeper bowel layer or entire GI tract. Individual results may vary. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
This report is brought to you by Surfside Iced Tea and Vodka and Surfside Lemonade and Vodka. Surfside Iced Tea and Vodka and Surfside Lemonade and Vodka. Proud partner of the Kansas City Royals. Each can of Surfside is only 100 calories and the best part, 0 bubbles. Grab it at the K or ask for it at your favorite bars and liquor stores.
This afternoon
Smoke is present in some areas, with temperatures reaching 78.
Weather brought to you by Staples. Have you heard? The Staples Easy button is back with even more easy. Press it for custom prints, shipping services, even passport photos. Staples. That was easy.
Follow the station on Instagram @TheFan965 for giveaways and behind-the-scenes content.
A couple of things here coming up at the top of the hour. We'll get back to talking some Royals baseball. I have two random thoughts before we talk about this ESPN story. The first thing is Keenan Allen is visiting with the Los Angeles Chargers. If you remember, they lost Mike Williams. He just retired one day. He just woke up and said, I don't want to work here anymore, and I'm out the NFL. So the Chargers are down a receiver. This is from Jordan Schultz. The Chargers are going to host Keenan Allen with the belief that both sides have an interest in a reunion. Allen has been waiting for the right opportunity, and a potential return to L.A., where he thrived for years, would make a lot of sense. Yeah. I mean, I kind of have been waiting for that this entire time. That's the only team that really makes sense. I mean, if you're going to join a team at this late in the season, usually you're going to join it to a place that you feel very familiar. You have some former teammates there. You've lived there before. Like, this makes a lot of sense to me. The Chargers need another receiver. Right now, you only got two, Ladd McConkey and Quentin Johnston. Johnston can barely catch. You put Keenan Allen with Ladd McConkey. You got a good tight end. You have a couple of capable running backs and a good offensive line. I mean, that's the best possible place for Keenan Allen. I expect a deal to get done, and I expect Keenan Allen to have a reunion with the Los Angeles Chargers. Did you see this? Rob, did you see that we are at the point where 50% of the internet activity is done by bots? Did you see that? Wall Street Journal report yesterday that is the case. I have a theory, and this theory is tied to the latest internet controversy. I'm sure by now you've seen this Sydney Sweeney back and forth. This is the thing, though, and I see this happen a lot, actually. I never actually see anybody complaining about these stories. I just see people complaining that other people are complaining about the story. I don't think it's part of a marketing scam. I don't know if that's a hot take or a theory or if other people are in on this, but I think that part of a way to push things is to make it feel edgy. Oh, hey, look, people are complaining about this. Then it gets you to watch it, and you're like, wait, this isn't even really that bad. Or wait, why are people mad about this? I'm a big believer that that's happening. I follow enough people on social media. I have not seen on my timeline, maybe on your timeline, Facebook, whatever. I haven't seen a single person complain about this Sydney Sweeney story. Yet all I've heard is that people are complaining and upset about the story. I'm a big believer that online discourse is part of a marketing strategy for a company. We put out an ad, and now we drum up interest around it. That's what I think. And when I saw that 50% right now of internet activity is done by computers, it just made even more sense. Like, oh yeah, this is all a game. This is all we're being controlled by the puppet master. That's my big brother conspiracy take for the day. All right, let's get back to very serious sports things. Now, maybe I'm crazy in thinking this, but can you tell me how a news outlet, which that's what ESPN is, right? Like, ESPN is a news outlet. How can a news outlet whose responsibility it should be to cover the league impartially, how can they now have a deal and a working relationship with the company that they're supposed to give unbiased news with? So we just found out that essentially NFL Network is about to be owned by ESPN. All of their major properties, the games that they currently have, they are now giving them to ESPN. Their big property, which is NFL Red Zone, they are now giving it to ESPN. ESPN went out and bought it. Now, we don't know what that means. Is NFL Network still going to broadcast it from ESPN studios? I don't know what this means. My first thought is, can you do this? Like, I feel like we have some weird lines that are being crossed. Like, ESPN has a partnership with the SEC, also with the college football playoff, but we want to think that the selection process is completely neutral. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me. How can you cover the NFL and cover issues like what's happening with collusion? How can you cover that fairly if you have such an intimate relationship with the National Football League? All of it just seems really, really messy to me. No one cares about this. We only want to see the games. This is where I'll defend ESPN just a little bit, which I don't know why I'm always in this position of trying to defend ESPN. It is almost impossible to mess up Red Zone. It really is. I don't think they're messing up Red Zone. Now, are they going to add some ESPN thing to it? Sure, right? Sure. Will they show a cut to somebody who gives us some quick analysis? Yes, probably. But I don't think the people that run ESPN are dummies. I think they all know what we want Red Zone to be. As somebody who I don't really watch 12 o'clock games anymore. I mean, I'll have them on, but the television that has the bigger screen in my apartment and has the audio is Red Zone. That is actually my preferred way of watching the NFL. I love Red Zone. It usually consists of, at 12 o'clock, I'm watching Red Zone. At 3:25, depending on what the major 3:25 game is, I might have that on the screen. I'll have Red Zone so I can get the other games. Sunday Night Football, Monday Night Football, there's no Red Zone option available. I think ESPN knows what the responsibility here is. We don't want you guys to overly produce this. We've got Red Zone set up exactly how we like it. You give us the Octabox. You show us the games. You show us the highlights. You show us what this guy did in fantasy, quick cuts, not a lot of stoppage. That's all we want it to be. I'm not really upset if we get a 30-second Stephen A. Smith drop in on what's happening. That doesn't really bother me that much. Or a Pat McAfee little drop in. I mean, if you watch Red Zone enough, especially when you get to 3:25 and there's not a lot of games on, they're showing you highlights of things that we've already seen anyway. So I don't think ESPN is going to mess up Red Zone. I really don't. I don't think they're going to mess it up. I think it's really, really hard to mess up NFL Red Zone. Like almost nearly impossible to mess it up. Will they do some ESPN things to it? Sure. Sure. They will do some ESPN things to it. You get to do that when you have ownership of a thing. Absolutely. But I think this is kind of easy, and I don't think that there's going to be too much of a problem that is going to exist with ESPN now having some level of control over NFL Red Zone. I want to play one thing for you guys before we talk about the top story in the NFL coming up at the top of the hour. We'll also get back to the Royals. Bill Self was on a podcast. He believes that Darren Peterson is the best freshman that he has ever recruited. Here's Bill Self.
As a freshman coming in with the ability to put a team on his back, I'll be honest, I don't know that I've had one. We didn't ask Wiggs to do that as a freshman. Embiid didn't do that as a freshman. Josh had Frank Mason and Devontae Graham, didn't ask to do as a freshman. With this particular roster, let's just call it like it is. Darren needs to be the guy. And if he's that guy, then he'll put up numbers that are as good as anybody we've had here. But the bottom line is those other guys around him need to develop so he can not have to be the guy all the time. Because, if Flory keeps developing, Bryson Tiller, Melvin Council, Cole Rosario, Jaden Dawson, if Trey White, if those guys keep developing, then he won't have so much pressure on him to perform. But I haven't been around anybody that's more prepared to be a college freshman that can carry the load more so than what Darren can.
Rob, I'm going to tell you this. You guys better be right. Now, I know KU fans, you guys are used to making fun of the rest of us, and I get it. When you've been on the mountaintop for as long as you guys have been on the mountaintop, I understand. You guys have won championships. Our teams haven't. Your team's been to the Final Four recently. My team's never been to the Final Four. K-State, you guys went to the Final Four before integration. I don't even know if that can count anymore of going to the Final Four. I get it. The way you guys have hyped up this Darren Peterson, I'm telling you, he better be good. or I'm telling you that Missouri fans and K-State fans, you will never hear the end of it if Darren Peterson is not good. I hope you're prepared for that. I hope if he ends up being Josh Selby through all of this stuff, I'm telling you, the jokes will rain from the heavens. We will be a very annoying bunch if he doesn't turn out to be. He just said he's the best freshman he's ever recruited. Bill Self said this. He's won 2 national championships. He's in the Basketball Hall of Fame. That's what we're saying? Okay. I've seen the kid play. He was good. He was very good. Best freshman ever. I didn't get that vibe from him, but he was very, very talented. Rob, I hope you're prepared. I mean, from early on in the season, he better be good. I don't want to, he's young. He ain't going to be there that long. I hope you're ready. I hope you're prepared for it is going to be unrealistic expectations on this kid and criticisms if he ain't good from the very, very beginning of the season. He better be a legitimate hooper. He better look like the number 1 overall pick because that's what you guys have been telling me he is now for the last 6 months, that you guys were bad last year. You couldn't wait to get those other guys out of the mix, and now Darren Peterson is coming to get you guys back to glory. Oh, it's going to be a fun college basketball season. Coming up at the top of the hour, let's get back to the Kansas City Royals as they go on the road against Toronto and Boston. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
You're listening to The Drive with Carrington Harrison, host of the Random Royals lineup on 96.5 The Fan.
Baseball with the Royals.
Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Don't let clogged drains slow you down. Call Hamilton Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Rooter today for our $79 mainline drain cleaning special. The pros at Hamilton will inspect your drains with video camera technology to pinpoint exactly what is needed to clear those clogs and help prevent expensive drain repairs. The expert technicians at Hamilton are ready 7 days a week to solve your problem the right way the first time. Over 40 years experience and more than 8,000 5-star reviews ensures your peace of mind. Visit callhamilton.com for details, terms, and conditions. License number 2025-11121.
Our biggest deal is back. The Tires at Cost sale at Telly Tire and Auto Centers. You pay what we pay. No gimmicks, no catch. All in-stock tires from Telly's huge inventory at cost. Plus mounting and balancing by certified tire technicians for only $27.95. The top brands, the lowest possible prices, with a 30-day ride guarantee and lifetime tire protection. There's never been a better time to replace your worn-out tires. These unbeatable savings won't last long. Hurry and reserve your tires today. Take care of your car. Take advantage of our sale. Take it to Telly. Additional charges apply for junk tire disposal and road hazard warranty.
When you've got real work to do, Metal Supermarkets will help you get it done fast. We've got a huge variety of metals in stock, and we cut to size fast. Bottom line, we get it done fast, so you get it done fast. Doesn't get easier than that. Metal Supermarkets, the convenience stores for metal. Find a store or buy online at metalsupermarkets.com.
Hi, welcome to IKEA.
This is my college campus.
Correct, but I see you're on IKEA.com ordering some college items.
My daughter's room is pretty bare. We need a lamp, some comfy pillows, her favorite stuffy.
Dad! With pickup options, we've got what you need to conveniently order IKEA. Literally anywhere.
Sweet. More time for gaming.
And studying. Wait, where are you going now?
Have to show the Ultimate Frisbee team how easy it is to order from IKEA. Get IKEA whenever, wherever, however you want. Choose from thousands of pickup locations, affordable delivery options, and more.
At Casey's, we're too nice to say no. So when someone asked for a free frozen drink, we said sure. Then they said every Friday all summer, and well, now we're giving away free medium frozen drinks every Friday. Free Frozen Fridays with Casey's Rewards. It's not crazy, it's Casey's. See store for details.
You gotta dip your chicken strips. Hey, this is Kiani.
And this is Tabitha.
And a little thing we love about Chick-fil-A chicken strips
is all the different sauces we can dip them in. I like to line up all my favorite sauces so that in every bite, I have a different flavor. Then with the tenderness of the chicken, the juiciness of it, it's all there.
And for me, I like to mix my sauces so I get a little tang and I get a little sweetness all in one bite.
That's what makes it for me. Like, that's what does it for me.
That's what I'm saying.
It's the summer of Chick-fil-A chicken strips and sauces. Order now on the Chick-fil-A app. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
Lowe's knows hot deals help you get the most out of summer. Get up to 30% off select major appliances and get it delivered as soon as next day. Plus, get up to 30% off select patio furniture, grills, outdoor power equipment, and more. These end-of-season savings won't last long. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 7/30. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Valid on eligible in-stock orders in select locations. Price, delivery time, and vehicle availability may vary based on order size and location. Exclusions apply. See Lowe's.com/delivery for more details.
When you've got real work to do, Metal Supermarkets will help you get it done fast. With a huge variety of metals in stock, we can help no matter what job comes your way. And we cut to size. Because just like taxes and BS, we think metal is better when cut. Metal Supermarkets, the convenient stores for metal. Find a store or shop online at metalsupermarkets.com.
DQ presents The Sound of Happy. Hear that? That's the DQ chicken strip basket. Only $7.49 for a limited time. We're talking 4 100% white meat seasoned chicken strips served with fries, Texas toast, and DQ signature country gravy. Yeah, you heard that right. For crunch time and no time, it can only be the DQ chicken strip basket. Just $7.49 for a limited time. Get it delivered in the DQ app. Happy tastes good at participating locations.
Travis Kelce Appreciation Day on Fesco and Dusty is on Thursday, August 7th, right here on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM HD1 and HD2, Kansas City in Odyssey Sports Station.
All right, let's talk a little bit of Royals baseball here at the top of the 3 o'clock hour. If you take a look at the Royals lineup, you know what? The Royals lineup, it's not really that bad. Now, the Royals have made a lot of roster moves to get ready for the players that they have just added. If you're looking at the lineup that they plan on trotting out there today, you know what? This gives you a chance. Now, it still has a couple of holes in it. But this is certainly a lineup that you feel you can work with. India, Witt Jr., Pasquantino, Garcia, Perez, Yastrzemski, Grichuk, Frazier, Isbell, and they got Michael Wacha going on the mound today as the Royals travel up north to play Toronto in a very important 3-game set. This is a lineup that you can live with. The Royals lineup this season is never going to be perfect. They also were never going to be able to acquire the sort of impact bat that you possibly needed. But this is maybe the best version of a lineup that they've had the entirety of the season. You are certainly a lot better at 6 through 9 than you've been at any point this season. There's not a lot of glaring holes that are in this team. I mean, we looked at Yastrzemski's on-base percentage. He's a guy that walks and can get on base. Grichuk's going to give you a professional at-bat. Isbell's been fine this year. I mean, I think this is the best lineup that the Royals have put out there all season. I know we were all excited about Jack Caglione. I'm sorry, that might be a next year conversation. I'm not interested in putting Jack Caglione back out there to hit 150 and not get on base, at least not while this team is playing from behind and trying to get back into the playoff conversation. Now, Jack comes back, the Royals might be out of it, then yeah, give him some more ABs. But if you're going to be in it, and the Royals, I think, have at least communicated to us that they believe that they are still in it, that they are going for it, that they are trying to make the postseason, then I think this has to be the form of the lineup that they need to trot out there on more days than not. Now, depending on righty, lefty, they'll end up having some matchups. But I do think, Rob, that this is the best possible lineup that the Royals can put together for the second portion of the season.
This is an indictment on the Royals lineup before today, because I feel like if this was the Royals lineup on June 11th, because remember, June, they went through the epitome of a June swoon. They were really bad in June. If this was their lineup on like June 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, pick a day in June when things went so wrong, I think they wouldn't just be like around the race. They would be in the race. I'm not trying to confuse people and say this is the 15 lineup or this is the 21 Yankees or anything like that. But this is a lineup that is professional hitters top to bottom. They're flawed. Like, it's not the Dodgers lineup, but I'd much rather have Mike Yastrzemski take an at-bat and right 100 times out of 100 before the combination of Melendez and Rave and that group was in June. Adam Frazier is an imperfect player, but at least he has a value defensively and offensively. You're right about Jack Caglione. He has a lot of buzz, a lot of hype, but right now I'd much rather Randall Grichuk, at least as a split guy, as a platoon, be in the lineup than him right now. So it's not the greatest lineup of all time, but it's so much better than it was, which is just furthering the thought with the Royals, which is the offense was so bad that a lineup now that feels like, what, if you were just ballpark it, that's maybe the 21st best offense in baseball. That's just an enormous jump forward from the dregs we have watched in Kansas City for most of the season.
I think a lot of it, honestly, is what were your expectations going into the deadline? And as we've talked about, once the Royals told you that they were not trading Seth Lugo, I think that this was always going to be the plan. There's no question in my mind that the Royals are better now than they were before the deadline. Now, is that enough? I don't know. I don't have the answer. I mean, the answer probably is no to that, just given the kind of deficit that they're in. But again, they have made the improvements, I think, to be better in 2025 and also position themselves from a pitching standpoint to be better and more equipped heading into 2026, where you can start with a clean slate. I don't really know how you could have gone into this trade deadline with much greater expectations. The Royals were never going to take that big swing. I don't know if they're at a point as an organization to take that big swing. They're not at a point where you trade Sean Manaea to go get Ben Zobrist, or you go try to go get Johnny Cueto because you feel like he's the missing piece towards a championship run. That's not where the Royals are as an organization. The Royals are actually what they just did. Hey, can we get a little bit better to potentially make a move here at the second half of the season? And if we can't make that move at the second half of the season, we feel like we are positioned in 2026 where we really like our core, we really like our foundation, and now we got to go outside the organization to possibly find that big piece to go get the guy that we need. I mean, I think they've played this trade deadline correctly, at least for where they are in their stage of development and trying to be a consistent, proven winning team and a playoff team.
This is why yesterday when we were giving out letter grades for the trade deadline, I gave it an A-. It's because I think the Royals have positioned themselves to be in the race for the rest of 2025. Now, you don't get an award. You don't get a medal. You're not the Indianapolis Colts. You're not going to hang a banner that says, man, we stayed in the race the entire way. If they don't make the postseason, it's still a disappointing season. But they position themselves where they're not going to fall out of the race. They will be kind of like 2013, a topic of discussion down the stretch, even with the Chiefs on the field, about, hey, maybe they're 3.5 back. They're still in it, which there is some value in that. But they mostly position themselves for 2026. I saw some national pundits that were a little bit down on the Royals deadline, and I don't understand it at all. Me and you were in the same thought. 2025, they are better and they can compete. They'll probably fall short, but they can compete. And in 2026, you've set yourself up to make a big swing trade if you want, because you have the ability to do so, and still be a team that can compete for the division. Like, that's, you want to position yourself for the now and the later, and they did that. Great. That's a great job by the Royals.
I want to read a tweet to you guys, and we'll start talking football here coming up in just a bit, but I think this is really important. So I follow a website. It's called covers.com. It's a very comprehensive gambling site, certainly worthy on going on there and getting some information. They tweeted out, we have our first bad beat of the season in the Hall of Fame game. The Chargers had 126 rushing yards, and then they took a kneel at the end. That lost 5 yards. So therefore, as a team, they finished with 121 rushing yards. And if you took the Chargers to have 125 rushing yards or more, that was plus 110. I am telling you right now that if you are that deep into the gambling, that you were on there and you were going for team rushing props for the Hall of Fame game, I'm telling you that you're lost. I told you guys this before, that gambling on the Hall of Fame game should be it should have your app should shut you out. It should shut you out. You shouldn't be allowed to gamble for the month of August if you're on there because you have a problem. If you get a bad beat, can you imagine you're at Buffalo Wild Wings and just having a nice meal? Or you're just there to get a beer at the bar, and there's some guy that is very oddly just upset about what's happening in the Hall of Fame game. And you look to him and you think, hey, is everything okay? And he says, oh, man, I mean, I just lost my bet. You're thinking, what in the In the baseball game? No, not the baseball game, the Hall of Fame game. I took over 125 team rushing yards. I'm telling you right now, you need to leave. Immediately. And I can't do it. Rob, did you gamble on this in any capacity?
No.
Okay, because I'm saying that's an HR violation. I'm reporting you to HR if you did. I'm not joking. A bad beat on team rushing yards in the Hall of Fame game? Did you watch any of the Hall of Fame game? I only watched it yesterday because I was out to eat, and it was on in the background. I just looked at the screen.
I did not watch it. I actually went out and got some dinner and drinks with some friends, and then we went and watched a movie. So I did not. I saw clips on social media, people saying football is back, and I was like, stop it. Football's not back in July. We got to put a moratorium on the term football is back for the Hall of Fame game between Trey Lance. By the way, they went from, I saw this tweet, Trey Lance exited the game, and DJ Uiagalelei took the field. That's not football's back.
Someone said, C-Dot, didn't Dusty and Gold bet on this? I don't know. They also should call the number. This doesn't have exceptions to it. There's like, oh, well, I know them. No, you have a problem. You have a problem. If you're betting the over-under on the Hall of Fame game, I'm telling you, 1-800-BETS off. You have a problem. There will be plenty of football bets for you to get throughout the course of the year. And in the regular season game, bet whatever. I don't care. I bet random things during the NFL regular season. It's a game that counts. I don't even mind if you bet on some obscure things. I mean, I've bet on a Jake Paul fight before. So, I mean, maybe I'm not the right person to give you this message. But the Hall of Fame game, I mean, come on now. What are we doing here? You don't know who's on the field. I don't know who's trying, who's not trying. I mean, it's a cry for help is what it is. It's a legitimate cry for help. I've actually never lost a bet betting on Jake Paul. His fights are the easiest to predict. Coming up on the other side, let's talk about the top two stories in the National Football League. Micah Parsons wants to be traded. So does Terry McLaurin. None of it matters. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
So we do a giveaway at GiveMeTheVin.com. Every month we're giving away $25,000 to one lucky person that sells us their car. Karen, you there?
I'm here.
Karen Gardner of Oceanside, California is the latest winner in GiveMeTheVin.com's big cash giveaway.
What did you sell us?
I sold you a 95 Impala.
And what did we pay you for it?
You guys gave me 18.
18 plus 25,000 because you're the winner, Karen.
Oh my God, you're kidding.
You could be next to get a little more, maybe a lot more.
You guys are awesome. Keep it up.
No purchase necessary. For official rules, go to GiveMeTheVin.com. Sell us your car.
It's the summer sales event at Robside Ford. Your chance to upgrade without the stress. Robside joins me now. Rob, what's the offer?
0% financing, $0 down, and 0 payments for 90 days on nearly the entire Ford lineup.
That's a serious summer deal.
Sure is. And unlike your brisket last weekend, these deals aren't dry.
Okay, that's fair. These savings are definitely juicy.
And we're backing it up with 2 years of complimentary maintenance, a non-commissioned sales team, and top trade-in values.
No pressure, no gimmicks at Robside Ford. The way car buying should be.
We're Kansas City's top-rated Ford dealer, 4.8 stars, nearly 3,000 Google reviews, and a better experience from start to finish.
So skip the smoke and the dry meat. This summer, start at Robside Ford.
135th and State Line or ROBSIGHC.com. 0% financing, $0 down, 0 payments for 90 days, and 2 years of complimentary maintenance.
Robside Ford, buy right, drive happy. And next time, maybe stick to potato salad.
FanDuel, because nothing says summer fun like adding excitement to the game while your friends are out there getting sunburned at the beach. Summer sports are calling your name. Baseball under the stadium lights, golf on pristine green fairways, soccer matches with world-class goals, and all the action-packed moments in between. You were going to spend all day following your favorite sports on your phone anyway? Might as well make it more thrilling with FanDuel. Open the app today to see the daily promotions, and new customers can bet just $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if your first bet wins. Open the FanDuel app today or visit FanDuel.com/Alex to get started. FanDuel is an official partner of 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Kansas. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under agreement with Kansas Star Casino, LLC. Gambling problem? Getting help is your best bet. Call 1-800-522-4700 or visit ksgamblinghelp.com.
This summer, try the new Strato Frappuccino blended beverage at Starbucks. It's the classic blended iced coffee you know and love, now topped with a creamy layer of handcrafted brown sugar cold foam. Available for a limited time. Your Strato Frappuccino is ready at Starbucks.
Get a bottle of Seafoam motor treatment for just $8.99 and receive 5 times O Rewards points with the purchase at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Presenting Again Fling's love story. Dear love of my life, we were on the 12B bus this morning when I caught a whiff. A scent so fresh, so life-changing, I had to find its source. Alas, I didn't know if you were the woman in the pink freshly washed cardigan or the retired mailman next to me, but I knew one of you was my soulmate. Ah, the scent of Gain Flings. Try Gain Flings with OxyBoost and Febreze.
Hot damn! Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea just got harder with Twisted Tea Extreme. The hard iced tea taste you know and love, but with an 8% kick of alcohol. Twisted Tea Extreme is made with real brewed tea, goes down smooth, and brings your daytime drinking to the next level. Just look for the bright yellow cans in the cooler and get ready to dial up the fun. Big flavor, extreme kick. Twisted Tea Extreme. Keep it twisted!
Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
If Twisted Tea was your best friend, they'd start a dance party in the supermarket that turns into a pool party at your place, and you don't even own a pool. Twisted Tea is smooth, refreshing, and always fun. Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Keep it twisted.
Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
If you didn't think skipping breakfast was a big deal, you'd be right. Before. But now, Wendy's has Buck Biscuits. We're talking sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit, bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit, or even the Honey Buddy chicken biscuit for just $1 each. Seriously, you can get all 3 if you want. They're just $1, so you'll never skip breakfast again. If you're smart. Breakfast for $1? Gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only. Price and participation may vary. Limit 5 qualifying items per transaction. Not valid in a combo while supplies last.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
This report is brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts, your professional parts people.
Get a bottle of Seafoam motor treatment for just $8.99 and receive 5 times O Rewards points with the purchase at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Good afternoon. This one brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts. Got a 2-car crash near downtown 70 westbound as you approach 23rd in the right lane. Overland Park, a wreck. 35 northbound on the ramp to 75th. From the Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, Electric Traffic Center, I'm Val. 96.5 The Fan.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios. Subscribe to 96.5 The Fan on YouTube to watch the show from wherever you are.
All right, welcome back into the show. There's a lot of things that I want to talk about, a lot of things that I want to touch on. Let's get to it here. Why don't we start with the number one story is right now in the NFL? Micah Parsons and the Cowboys have been going back and forth for basically the entire offseason. It is clear what the issue is. Micah Parsons is due for a new contract, and the Cowboys are, well, being the Cowboys. And they are doing all of the Cowboys things. Jerry Jones was doing press conferences and was talking really weird about Micah Parsons. It didn't really seem to make any sense while they were in the middle of negotiating a contract. Micah Parsons, for the most part, has stayed relatively quiet when it comes to this issue. But you know what? That time is over for him. So he released a 3-paged iPhone note press conference. Now, I don't really know why you need to do this. Like, You work for a $1 billion agency. You can't just type what you feel, send it to them, and then they put it out in a nice little electronic document. But that's not what it was. He wanted us to know that this came from the heart. Yes, I wanted to be here. I did everything I could to show you that I wanted to be a Cowboy and to wear the star on my helmet. I wanted to play in front of the best fans in sports and make this America's team again. My man went on. My man was spilling all the tea. I want you guys to remember this because this is important. Block out the noise. I tell you guys this all the time. This is the only time that you can ask for more money in the National Football League. You aren't getting this conversation in the season. No. Everybody's focused on other things. That's not the time to get your money in order. The time to get your money in order is in August. So that's what Micah Parsons is doing. I don't have any problems with Micah Parsons trying to go out and get paid. None. I don't have any problem with it. Now's the time to do it. But we've played this game before. You guys remember, this was maybe 6 months ago now? Remember when Myles Garrett said goodbye to Cleveland and was tired of playing for Cleveland and he wanted a chance to win? He wanted a chance to finally compete for a championship. He didn't want to see his prime slip away and give it to the Cleveland Browns. What happened? Cleveland paid him, and you haven't heard a peep from Myles Garrett since because he's one of the 5 highest paid non-quarterbacks in the National Football League. This is what the Cowboys do. None of us have been talking about the Cowboys. They're not really that interesting this year. Sure, they made a trade to go get George Pickens. We're waiting to see if Dak comes back. But you know who's been getting all the conversation? Philadelphia. They won the Super Bowl. You know who's been getting all the conversation? Washington. They went to the NFC Championship game. Wait, people are talking about Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen and Lamar. How can we get them talking about us? How can we lead First Take? How can we lead Undisputed? How can we? Oh, I know what we need to do. Let's create a contract controversy with our star player. In what world do you guys want me to think that the Dallas Cowboys are prepared to let their best player at 26 years old go play for somebody else? I've seen this way too many times, especially with this organization. Micah Parsons will have a brand new contract with the Dallas Cowboys before the start of the NFL season because that's how this story always goes for the Cowboys. I don't know why the Cowboys are so hell-bent on paying the absolute highest price for all of their best players. I mean, they did this with Dak. They did this with DeMarcus Lawrence. They do this with everybody. It is just Micah Parsons' turn. I always say about NFL players, if the frustration that you have is financially related, that is an easy bridge to get over. They offer you more money. This is an easy bridge to cross if you're the Cowboys and if you're Micah Parsons. You are here, they are here, and you want to go get a deal done. This is where I do side with Micah Parsons reading this story. And this is where I do think that Jerry kind of tries to take advantage. Jerry's old school. He doesn't want to go through an agent. So Jerry Jones was negotiating a deal directly with Micah Parsons. They were having that one-on-one. As the deal was getting close, Micah Parsons, as he should, said, hey, we've had really good conversations. Let me rope in my agent. You talk to my agent. Let's go and hammer this thing home. You know I want to play with the Cowboys. Jerry mad. Now Jerry's mad. Jerry doesn't want to do this deal with an agent. He wants to do this deal directly with you. But the agent is there to make sure that you get what you're supposed to get, to make sure that your contract is where it's supposed to be. But Jerry's mad. Therefore, the back and forth. This is noise. Don't pay attention to it because it doesn't matter. Micah Parsons will be there week 1 against the Philadelphia Eagles in a Cowboys uniform, wearing number 11 with a shiny new contract. There is no other way this story ends. So I don't need to hear, well, what can my team? Doesn't matter. They're not trading him. Well, what if it doesn't matter. No, they're not trading him to nobody. They've already come out and said we have no interest in trading him because we know you're going to get a deal done. So I'm not falling for it. I'm not listening to the noise. I'm not buying into the noise. I have my fingers in my ears. I have canceled it all out because I know that it's nonsense. Now, the Micah Parsons issue is very different than the Terry McLaurin issue. The Terry McLaurin issue, he's actually got a good case. Terry McLaurin is making $15 million this year. Now, again, that's a lot of money. I'm not here to tell you that $15 million is not a lot of money. It is, in fact, a whole lot of money. But if you're Terry McLaurin and you're making $15 million this year and you see that that is now 18th in terms of salary, I see why, hey, hold on, wait, like T. Higgins got paid, Jalen Waddle got paid, Brandon Ayuk got paid. There's 8 receivers right now, 9 receivers if you count the tie with Brandon Ayuk and Tyree. There's 9 receivers that are making $30 million. There's 17 of these guys that make more money than Terry McLaurin. I see why he's upset about his contract and why he wants a new one. And right now is the time to get it. I would also tell Terry McLaurin, you are not going anywhere. You are going to play for the Washington Commanders this year. There's no other choice. The Commanders, there might not be a team that's more all in publicly than they are. They went out, they made the trade to go get Deebo Samuel. They also went out to go get Laramie Tunsil. They went to the NFC Championship game last year. They have a quarterback that's still on a rookie contract. They've got a good coach in Dan Quinn. They have Super Bowl expectations in Washington. You're not accomplishing that if you don't have Terry McLaurin on your team. He's your best skill position player. He might be your second best player on your team, period. This is another situation. Just block out the noise. None of it matters. This is how I think the Terry McLaurin situation ends. This is how I think it ends. I think they give Terry McLaurin a little bit of a signing bonus. I think they give him a little bit of money up front. Kind of like what happens when a player is on the franchise tag. So if you remember, whenever Saquon Barkley had his little holdout where he was mad with the Giants in his last year, he was owed like $15 million. They basically wrote him a $5 million check that day to make him happy, and then they created incentives on the back half to allow him to earn more money. That's what I think they'll end up doing with Terry McLaurin. He's owed $15.5 throughout the course of the season. Here, we're going to give you a third of this right now. We're going to give you $5 million today. We're going to put it right in your hand. You don't got to wait till October. We're going to give you the money right now, and let's go. And then we'll put incentives in there that you can turn your base salary, and we'll try to give you a 50% raise, and at the end of the season, we'll have this conversation. I think that's maybe the worst case scenario. The best case scenario is they just give him a a 2-year extension. I wouldn't be in the interest right now of signing Terry McLaurin to a big-time extension. Like, Terry McLaurin's maybe a little bit older than you think he is. He's 29 years old. He will be 30 years old in mid-September. So I don't know if I'm super interested in giving Terry McLaurin $30 million for ages 31, 32, 33, and possibly beyond. I'm not super interested in doing that if I'm Washington. But I do know one thing. For this season, while we've got you under contract, and it's a pretty good contract for us, you're not playing for another team. So like Micah Parsons, you can be mad. You are not going anywhere. Terry McLaurin will be playing this season and will be playing week 1 for the Washington Commanders. Again, I want the message to be very clear. Block out the noise. That's all it is in July/August when it comes to the money. They always figure it out. Lamar Jackson asked for a trade. What team does he play for? Myles Garrett asked for a trade. What team does he play for? If money is the only barrier between you and the team, they will always figure it out if they want to keep you. And the Cowboys certainly want to keep Micah Parsons, and the Commanders want to keep Terry McLaurin. So let's just sit back. Let's watch how this plays itself out. There will be more drama and more back and forth and more text and screenshots. It will be more of those things. Micah Parsons will be playing for the Cowboys this year. Same thing for Terry McLaurin. Those two franchises cannot move forward without those two players, and that usually is a big reason on why a deal gets done.
I also think maybe it's the fact the NFL calendar is weird and that people start asking for raises in July right before camp, and that's a bigger problem and one we're not going to solve today. But when was the last time you saw a major trade in the NFL in August? Like, I'm talking like major trade. Not some Carlos Hyde type of move, not some small, move on the periphery. I'm talking like a star player got traded for a mass amount of picks. These things get done in March. Eventually, Micah Parsons and Terry McLaurin are going to have to come to work. Now, could they both be in the final year of their job at their current employer? That's possible. But these teams, to maximize the value for their players, like to get these deals done ahead of the draft when they know what picks they're getting. In March, if you're the Chiefs, we'll use them in for the example, and they trade Tyreek Hill the Dolphins, they know the exact number, round, everything for a pick. Do you know what the Cowboys can't know in August? If they trade Micah Parsons to, I don't know, pick a team, the Jets, what their pick is going to look like. Teams like clarity. So when it comes to massive, big, superstar level moves, they don't happen this time of year. This will probably end, and this is probably semantics by me, the same way that Chris Jones and the Chiefs ended. Remember, Chris Jones, he was not interested in work. No camp. He watched the Chiefs raise a banner.
I actually don't even think it's that bad. I mean, Chris Jones missed time with the Chiefs. I don't think that Micah Parsons is missing a game for the Cowboys.
I think Terry could miss a game. I think he's a little bit of a different
I don't think either
boat.
one of them are missing a game. I think the Chris Jones situation was so unique. I mean, we see these situations happen over the last 10 years. I mean, Chris Jones is the only player that's missed a game. So since the Le'Veon Bell disagreement with Pittsburgh, we've only seen one player that was willing to get to this point. I also don't really think that Chris Jones gained anything by missing the game. It'd be one thing if the Chiefs had folded and gave him what he wanted in that exact same moment. Chris Jones showed back up to work and basically had to work that final game of the season for the double-digit sacks to get back all the money that he gave back to the team. So I just don't know if Chris Jones, if I'm looking at this as a third party, if I'm Micah Parsons or one of these players who are unhappy, and I say I can be Chris Jones, I don't know if he's a good example of it actually ended up working out for you. I actually think this, and I don't know enough of this to say one way or the other, this seems like a violation. Why is player and owner negotiating a deal one-to-one, and then the negotiation stops when the player brings in representation? Is that not weird? If you're Micah Parsons, you're 26 years old. Now, I don't know enough about Micah Parsons' background, but you know what I don't think Micah Parsons has a lot of experience doing? Negotiating $100 million deals. That's what his deal is. Maybe a $120 million deal. I don't think that he has gone over many NFL contracts. That's not really his job, and he's not supposed to. That's why you hire an agent. That's why your agent, who has done this, who is experienced, who represents the biggest clients in the National Football League, that's why you give him 3%. Because of his knowledge, because of his expertise, because it's something you don't have to deal with. I mean, I would feel a way if I'm Micah Parsons when, hey, we're having good conversations. Hey, you know what? I've come as far as I can come. I don't know what's happening right now. Hey, I just want to play football. Hey, I'm going to let my agent handle this. He knows what I want. I want to be here. I want to play for you guys. I want to do this. And now Jerry won't return the calls of the agent? He won't talk to him? I mean, it seems like something I'd be complaining to the union about the way the Cowboys are doing business. But none of it matters. Deadlines make deals. You know what there's no deadline for? August 1st. You don't play football for another month. We all know how these deals work. This will get done. They always get done. Terry McLaurin, his deal will get done. There's nothing to worry about. Both of those individuals, they will end up getting a deal done. They are not trading Micah Parsons to any team in the league. Not a single one. No team. So, oh man, this team should trade 2 first. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. No, because you're not getting a 26-year-old. No team in the league is adding a 26-year-old, maybe the best pass rusher in the league, in early August. That ain't how it works. In March, sure, you maybe had a chance. You don't have a chance heading into the season. You can't play those draft picks if you're the Cowboys. That's not how this works. Micah Parsons will be there. Terry McLaurin will be there. Block out the noise.
I agree with all of you. I agree with everything you're saying. I do think if he were actually going to be traded, which he's not, but let's just entertain it for 2 seconds, it might be the most amount of first-round picks we've ever seen trade for a non-quarterback in the history of the league. He's 26. He plays arguably the second most important position on the football field. He's arguably the third best at the position, and he's about to get a major contract. I think if this trade were to happen, which it won't, it would make the Khalil Mack trade look small in comparison. Like, the amount of equity and draft picks you'd have to give up to get Micah Parsons is astronomical. This is not a first, a second first, and a third, and we're home. It's going to be crazy what you have to give up to get Micah Parsons. Again, not a real thing, but just to speculate for fun, the amount of picks would be bananas.
I want to get to another major NFL story before I know the break is coming up soon. The game is losing one of the greats. I mean, why we love the NFL so much is it's defined by great athletes. Bo Jackson, Deion Sanders, Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, Walter Payton, Gale Sayers, the greats of the gridiron. The game is losing another great athlete. Luis Rees-Zammit has announced, hey, this football thing, it ain't for me. It ain't for me. I mean, I tried it. I went over to America. I had Jack Stack. I went to Worlds of Fun and rode something called a Timberwolf. I didn't know what it was, but they told me it was fun. I got on it. I had a great time in Kansas City. I wasn't good enough to make the Chiefs team, and we always knew that it was going to be tough to make the Chiefs. They're the best team in the league. So then I went down to Jacksonville, Duval County. And, man, I did my best while I was there. But you know what? My best wasn't good enough. Jacksonville, they were about to get rid of me. But now I'm going back to the game that I love. Quote, I have an exciting announcement to make. I've decided to leave the NFL and return to rugby. It has been a great experience, but it's time to come home. I've decided that this is the best time to make my decision and to give myself the time to get everything back in place. There's only one thing on my mind, and that's coming back to rugby and doing what I do best. I can't explain how excited I am. There'll be more news to come, but for right now, see you soon, rugby fans. Hey, this was great. It really was. He came over here for a little bit. He got to enjoy the American culture for a bit, see if he could do something, answer a lifelong dream. He then tried it. It didn't work. Hey, I'm going to go back to what I do best. Why would can you imagine? These are your two options. I'm serious. These are your two options. You can go be the greatest rugby player in the world in your hometown, or you can be a backup on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Which one sounds more fun to you? It was one thing if I was going to be backing up on the Chiefs. I get to hang out with Mahomes and Kelsey, and I get to meet Taylor Swift. I play on Jacksonville. This doesn't sound fun. I can go home and be the best rugby player in the world, or I can be on the Jaguars practice squad. I'm shocked he lasted as long as over here as he did. The moment the Chiefs let me go and I got that call from Jacksonville, I don't know what their area code is, but when I got the call from the 954, I just gave them a random area code, I'd have been out of there. No, I'm going back home. I don't want to be over here. I don't want to play with you guys. That's not what I signed up for when I came over here. I signed up to be coached by Andy Reid. Not this goofy Liam Cohen. I don't know him. When I was watching playoff football and had the dream of coming over here, I didn't see Jacksonville nowhere in my dream. Good luck to Luis Rees-Zammit, man. The game is losing one of its greats, man. I'm serious. The game is losing one of its greats. It's losing one of its greats. So good luck to him. Someone says congratulations as he is going in the Chiefs fans training camp Hall of Fame. I mean, that's phenomenal. Salute. I mean,
Chiefs fans have been on text line Twitter been wrong before. They have never been more wrong about a player than Luis Rees-Zammit. Because remember, the new kickoff rule, the Chiefs found a secret advantage by getting a rugby player. You know what he was? Actually, you know what? He made the 53 for the Jags, so he actually achieved a lot in life. But you know what he was? He was nothing. Chiefs fans talked about him like he was about to be, it was about to be something special. Remember when we said, hey, if he makes the roster, that's a win. People are like, you guys don't even know the new kickoff rules. It's like rugby. He's a rugby player. Watch out. He can tackle. He can kick. He can return. He can do it all. You know what he's doing now? Playing rugby.
And you know what? I'm not even going to be mad at Chiefs fans. I just think, you know what I think? I think Chiefs fans get bored. I think they get bored. during this time for your entire childhood, you could dream a little bit, you know? Like you could latch on to an underdog. So when you get that chance, like when you get a chance to latch on to the underdog of Carson Steele, you got to go hard. It reminds you of your childhood. Training camp's boring for the Chiefs. It's boring. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Only bad things can happen at training camp if you're the Chiefs. It's the only thing, right? Their roster is set. We know who their starters are. Only bad things can happen at Chiefs training camp. So when you get a chance to latch on to something good, you latch on to something good. So yeah, go ahead. Go crazy now. I don't even judge you guys anymore. Go crazy. I'm shocked you guys haven't found that guy on this team yet. It's coming. Don't worry. Let Tyquan Thornton get a couple of catches against the Bears in a preseason game. You're going to start going crazy. Good. You need something to believe in August. That's what you need. You need something to believe in August. And then the real Chiefs fans know once September comes, hey, that was a nice story. Let's move on. You saw Carson Steele play one time, and you were like, hey, I was wrong. I was wrong. Justin Ross was a really good June and July to get us through. And then when the game started, it was like, no, please don't throw him the ball. That's what Luis Rees-Zammit is. He's a nice June, July, August topic, you know? Good luck to you, Luis. Go back over there, dominate rugby, have a great life. It's going to be phenomenal. It's going to be phenomenal. I'm sure it's going to be amazing. I mean, you get to go back to being the best rugby player in the world or the 52nd man on the Jaguars. No, this was a no-brainer decision for you to go home. We got Vern coming up in 20 minutes. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
Hey, it's Cole Reagans from the Kansas City Royals. You're listening to The Drive with C-Dot on 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Back to school means back with friends. And Academy Sports and Outdoors has everything you need for the new year for less. Shop the latest styles from brands like Nike, Jordan, Wilson, Carhartt, and Birkenstock. Plus, check out our game-changing selection of backpacks. Save even more on the latest deals each week. Stop by your local store or shop academy.com. Academy Sports and Outdoors. Fun can't lose.
Paid for client portrayal and endorsement. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisement. Past results afford no guarantee of future results, and every case is different and must be judged on its own merits.
After my car wreck, there was a lot I didn't know.
I do know. My team knows injury law. We can help you understand all of your legal rights so that you don't get cheated.
DM Law knew what to do and got me $350,000.
Mike's got this.
If you've been hurt in a car wreck, call me. I've got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
When you've got real work to do, Metal Supermarkets will help you get it done fast. We've got a huge variety of metals in stock, and we cut to size fast. Bottom line, we get it done fast, so you get it done fast. Doesn't get easier than that. Metal Supermarkets, the convenience stores for metal. Find a store or buy online at metalsupermarkets.com.
Hi, welcome to IKEA.
This is my college campus.
Correct, but I see you're on IKEA.com ordering some college items.
My daughter's room is pretty bare. We need a lamp, some comfy pillows, her favorite stuffy.
Dad! With pickup options, we've got what you need to conveniently order IKEA. Literally anywhere.
Sweet, more time for gaming.
And studying. Wait, where are you going now?
Have to show the Ultimate Frisbee team how easy it is to order from IKEA. Get IKEA whenever, wherever, however you want. Choose from thousands of pickup locations, affordable delivery options, and more.
Need to sell your house in Kansas City but not sure where to start? Selling a home can feel overwhelming, especially if you're facing foreclosure, a divorce, an inherited property you don't want, or just need to move quickly. But you don't have to figure it out alone. Rex Buys KC is here to help. As a local home buyer, I understand the Kansas City market inside and out. My family and I live right here, so I know the neighborhoods, the trends, and the challenges homeowners face. That's why I take a consultative approach, helping you explore your options and find the best path forward. We buy houses in any condition, no need for repairs, no agent commissions, and no hidden fees. You'll receive a fair cash offer with a closing timeline that works for you. Whether that's in as little as 7 days or at your own pace, just a simple, hassle-free process designed around your needs. If you're ready to talk through your options, call me today at 816-330-6000 or visit rexbuyskc.com. Let's find the right solution for you. Rex Buys KC. Local, fair, and focused on you.
If Twisted Tea was your best friend, they'd start a dance party in the supermarket that turns into a pool party at your place, and you don't even own a pool. Twisted Tea is smooth, refreshing, and always fun. Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Keep it twisted.
Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
If you didn't think skipping breakfast was a big deal, you'd be right. Before. But now, Wendy's has Buck Biscuits. We're talking sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit, bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit, or even the Honey Buddy chicken biscuit for just $1 each. Seriously, you can get all three if you want. They're just $1, so you'll never skip breakfast again. If you're smart. Breakfast for $1? Gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only. Price and participation may vary. Limit 5 qualifying items per transaction. Not valid in a combo while supplies last.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Rob Site Ford. Non-commissioned staff, low prices, best trade-ins, and the biggest selection. Visit robsite.com.
Shopping for a new Ford? Go where it's easy. Rob Site Ford. Non-commissioned staff, huge trade-in values, and Kansas City's top-rated Ford dealer. Rob Site Ford. ROBSIGHT.com.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Brought to you by Rob Side Ford. Got a wreck in Grandview. It is multi-car crash. 49 northbound as you approach Maine. The left lane is blocked. In the triangle, you've got 71 northbound just past Bannister. Car fire in the right lane. From the Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, Electric Traffic Center, I'm Val. 96.5 The Fan.
Hey, it's Juju Smith-Schuster from the Kansas City Chiefs. Welcome back to The Drive with C-Dot on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
All right, coming up in about 15 minutes, Vern will be on the show. After Vern is on the show, we are going to play for you his conversation with the owner of the Kansas City Royals. He got a chance to catch up with John Sherman. They spoke at around 3 o'clock. We're going to talk to Vern at 4, and then coming up after 4, we are going to play our conversation, or his conversation, I guess ours is the station, with the owner of the Kansas City Royals. We have been talking about the Royals, and this is a very important stretch for the Royals. The Royals are 25-37 against teams who are 500 and better. Their next 6 games are against those kind of teams. They play Toronto, who is right now tied for the best record in the American League. They have the same record as the Tigers. They also play 3 games in Boston. Boston currently has the second wildcard spot, and they are 4.5 games ahead of Kansas City. It goes without saying how important this stretch is for the Royals. You can't make the playoffs in this stretch. Like, if the Royals win all 6 of these games, that is not ensure that they make the playoffs. They can't make the playoffs if they underperform during this stretch. And if you can come out on the other side of this stretch where you don't have to go 4-2, you don't have to go 5-1, you don't have to do anything extraordinary, you just can't falter during this stretch. Win one of these next 2 series. Win one of these next 2 series and don't get swept. That's not that hard. They're 29-18 against teams who are under 500. So directly after this stretch against Toronto and Boston, they play Minnesota for 3 games. Minnesota, I think, is giving up on life. Washington, who is the second worst team in the National League, just slightly ahead of the Colorado Rockies. And they play the Chicago White Sox, the White Sox who are 40-69. They still got a handful of games against Chicago down the stretch. The Royals are not out of it. Now, I don't know how much the Royals are in it. I mean, we'll see over the course of the next 50, 60 games or so, but the Royals are certainly not out of it. But you can play yourself out of it by just one bad stretch. You have to factor in one of those 4 teams, so Seattle, Boston, Tampa Bay, one of those teams is going to end up getting hot. How you end up getting hot is taking advantage of Minnesota, Washington, and Chicago. In those 9 games, you go 7-2, you pick up a couple of games, and next thing you know, you look up and you're a game out of the 3rd wild card spot. So you just got to start chipping away at this thing. You're not going to be able to get all of it back in 1 week. That's usually not how this works, not when there's a bunch of teams, but you got to let some teams beat up on one another. And when you play a team like Boston that's directly ahead of you, you got to take full advantage of that. I wouldn't necessarily worry about the Toronto, like Toronto's just out of your stratosphere, but that series against Boston, being able to leave Fenway Park and you gained a game on a team that's directly ahead of you, that's the number one priority for the Royals over the next couple of weeks. And then it's taking care of business against those bad teams. And you can't afford to lose a series right now to Minnesota, a team that looks like they've given up, Washington, who has given up on the season a long time ago, and Chicago, who's been one of the 3 worst teams in baseball for the last 2 years.
I know this saying is going to anger Royals fans, and I feel like we've said it now every month of the season, but that's stage 1, the next 6 games, Toronto and Boston. If you end up 3-3, which is by definition treading water, if you do that, you have a chance to really make up some ground against the dregs of baseball. The Nationals have a parade every day that the Rockies exist, or they'd be the worst team in the NL. And the White Sox are just, ugh. I mean, they are the 06 Royals bad. Like, it is just awful. See, right, the Blue Jay series doesn't really matter. Just don't get swept. And if now you win the Red Sox series and you're headed to Minnesota 3-3 on the road trip, that's fine, because now it's time to start gobbling up the wins. But the next 6 games, the minimum, the baseline needs to be 3-3. You're not great if you're 2-4. If you're 1-5, the season's over. If you're 3-3, all right, you circle this window where it's bad teams, let's get to work. And if you're better, that's found money. But by the time me and you take the air a week from today and we're talking Royals baseball, they need to have gone 3-3 against Toronto and Boston. I don't really care the how. I'd prefer to win the series against Boston than Toronto, but 3-3 is the absolute, you have to do that before headed to Minnesota.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think that that's really important for this Royals team, and obviously we'll see what happens. I mean, you are still in it, so to speak, and I think you just got to take this stage by stage. You got to take it bit by bit, week by week is how you have to look at it. This is a very important week for the Kansas City Royals. These are the kind of weeks that have drowned the Royals this season. The Royals, the reason they are in the situation that they're in is every single time they have had a stretch like this, an important stretch against good teams, they have always faltered. The Royals have a little bit of injuries when it comes to the rotation right now, but they've shored it up with a couple of trades. I think the lineup that they are putting out there today, I think that's the best lineup that they've put out all season if you look at it from start to bottom. I mean, it doesn't matter what you've done before this stretch. Obviously, you still got work to do, but it doesn't matter what you've done before this. If the Royals can be one of the top 6 teams in baseball, top 8 teams in baseball down the stretch, that's a team that gives themselves a very realistic chance of making the postseason. So that's what you got to factor into. There's some pockets where you can gain a lot of ground if you want to, but there's also a couple of pockets where you can drown yourself and you look up and you're 11.5 games out in the division, and then you're 5.5, 6.5 games back in the wild card hunt. And I just don't know if there's enough time for you to be able to overcome that level of a deficit.
This feels like there was a time in May where the Royals, they had swept the Rangers, who are a team that's still in competition, and then they had the Padres, and then they had the Rays, and then they had the Dodgers in 3 straight series. And I remember being on the show thinking to myself, the Dodgers series, you'd like to win it, but it doesn't really matter. You just have to be okay against the Padres and survive against the Rays, get through that Dodgers series, and then you can kind of take a breath. The Royals got thumped in all 3 of those series. They lost in San Diego. They lost to the Rays. I believe they were swept by the Rays. And then they lost to the Dodgers. You cannot have that happen here. I know the Twins are basically DOA, but you cannot have it be Wednesday or Thursday, the 18th or the 8th or the 15th, whatever the date, and you're talking about, oh man, these 3 series really doomed the Royals. That will be the end of Royals baseball for the season. Tread water here, gobble up wins. But if you can't do that, you don't make it till Labor Day with us talking about it. It's just that simple. The season could be over in 2 weeks.
Coming up at the top of the hour, we're going to be joined by Josh Vernier. Josh Vernier has had a very busy last hour or so. he got an opportunity to sit down with John Sherman, the owner of the Kansas City Royals, and now he gets to sit down with us. We'll go through some of the trades that the Royals have made over the last 24 hours or so, like the one they made with Ryan Bergert yesterday. That we had someone on the show who says that they believe that Bergert has top of the rotation kind of stuff.
Kolick can be the other guy, Stephen Kolick in the trade. He can be a back of the rotation guy. I think right now, Bergert's probably a 4, but I think, as he develops and gets a little bit more mature, that he could get up to like a 3 or a 2 type guy. But
That was Ben Higgins, who joined us on the show yesterday talking about Ryan Bergert. We'll talk to Vern about that coming up in a bit. Keep it right here. It's The Drive on 96.5 The Fan.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your new home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this. Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Brought to you by Robside Ford. Got a wreck in Grandview. It is multi-car crash. 49 northbound as you approach Maine. The left lane is blocked. In the triangle, you've got 71 northbound just past Bannister. Car fire in the right lane. From the Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, Electric Traffic Center, I'm Val. 96.5 The Fan.
My perfect day has sand, salt water, and friends. But my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can take me out of the moment. Now I'm all in with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi. Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, most people saw 90% clearer skin, and many were even 100% plaque-free at 4 months. Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Flooded bathroom? AC on the fritz? When things go wrong, you need reliable service fast. Call Hamilton Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Rooter and take $50 off any HVAC, plumbing, or electrical repair over $200. The pros at Hamilton are ready 7 days a week to fix the problem. Over 40 years experience, more than 8,000 5-star reviews, plus our exceptional service guarantee means you can trust Hamilton to bring comfort and calm back to your home. Visit callhamilton.com for details, terms, and conditions. License number 2025-11121.
Your home is more than just another listing. It's your life's work. Dawn and the Sharp Homes team treat every property as their own, employing innovative marketing strategies and providing personal attention that transforms for sale signs into sold celebrations. The Sharp Homes team can also give you options. Do you want to skip the showings and open houses and go straight to sold? Then contact the only agent I would trust to sell my home. Dawn Sharp and the Sharp Homes team, brokered by Epic Realty. Google Sharp Homes Team. That's Sharp Homes Team today.
Hot damn! Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea just got harder with Twisted Tea Extreme. Twisted Tea Extreme is made with real brewed tea, goes down smooth, and an 8% kick of alcohol. Dial up the fun with Twisted Tea Extreme. Keep it twisted.
Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
If Old Spice Deep Sea Super Hydration Body Wash were music, what would it sound like? Start with the deep sounds of Old Spice's ocean waves and kelp. Layer on the smooth, renewing moisture. You wouldn't hear any parabens or phthalates because Old Spice Deep Sea hasn't got any. But you would hear that vitamin B3 for healthier looking skin. So while your regular body wash sounds like this, Old Spice sounds like this. Sounds like it smells amazing.
Get a bottle of Seafoam motor treatment for just $8.99 and receive 5 times O Rewards points with the purchase at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Go Yard all baseball season long with Underdog's Champions Game. Join the millions who have already won billions making plays on Underdog and be next to join one of the leading places to make all your sports selections you can play in your state. To play, all you have to do is download the app. Choose whether you think a player will go higher or lower than their favorite stats. Home runs, strikeouts, total bases, and so much more. Once your entry feels good, you can play with as little as $1. And if you get everything right, you could win up to 1,000 times your money. That's right. If you bet $1, you could get up to 1,000 times your money. So you really could turn $1 into $1,000 with your baseball knowledge. Download the Underdog app. Sign up using that promo code TAPP, T-A-P-P, to unlock a special offer for up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you make your first deposit. That's promo code TAPP, T-A-P-P. Must be 18 plus and present in Missouri. Terms apply. See underdogfantasy.com/web/deposit match-terms. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Visit www.ncpgambling.org.
Men, summertime is here, and that means vacations, summer barbecues, outdoor parties, camping, beaches, and so much more. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if you're like many men, you may not be feeling like yourself this summer. Perhaps your energy is low and you aren't sleeping well. Maybe your workouts aren't as good as they used to be. And if what I'm describing is you, it's very likely you're suffering with low testosterone. But low T doesn't have to affect you anymore. Just call Heartland Men's Health, get treated, and see how it changes your life. If you're like most men, you'll feel so much better. Deeper sleep, improved vitality and clarity, greater strength and energy, and an enhanced sex drive as well. So call us. Just $99 gets you a PSA and T test and a medical consult. And if you start on testosterone the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600. That's 844-447-6600. Or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. We have 3 offices, Overland Park, Independence, and North Kansas City.
This report is brought to you by Surfside Iced Tea and Vodka and Surfside Lemonade and Vodka. Surfside Iced Tea and Vodka and Surfside Lemonade and Vodka. Proud partner of the Kansas City Royals. Each can of Surfside is only 100 calories, and the best part, 0 bubbles. Grab it at the Cave or ask for it at your favorite bars and liquor stores.
Cody and Gold, live from St. Joe at Chiefs training camp all summer long with exclusive access and interviews with the reigning AFC champions. Right here on your home for Chiefs football, 96.5 The Fan, KFNZ FM and AM HD1 and HD2, Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
Let's head to the phone lines right now to be joined by our next guest. Josh Vernier joins us on the show. He is fresh off a conversation with the owner of the Kansas City Royals, John Sherman. We will play that for you coming up in just a bit. Vern, what is it like to talk to a billionaire and then talk to me?
I'm more intimidated talking to you, C-Dot. I was just telling Rob a moment ago, it's strange, but I'm more at ease talking with John Sherman than I am a coach, a player, front office. I don't know, and that's a compliment to Mr. Sherman. He's just, for a billionaire, he's a very normal guy.
Did he tell you where the stadium's going to be?
He did not.
Oh, man. I mean, that's what I was really hoping to get from this. I was hoping he was going to be like, you know what, Vern? We've done this long enough. I'm here to announce where the stadium's going to be. You're telling me that didn't happen?
No.
Oh,
unfortunately. But I did tell him that I do field quite a few phone calls from people that say he's only spending money so that people will help him build a new stadium. So I got his response to that.
Okay, I can't wait to hear the answer to that. So this is what we have been talking about. You know how I say in April, you can't make the playoffs in April. You can only miss the playoffs in April. Like what you do in that first month of the season sort of sets the tone. I'm kind of boiling that down now. The Royals can't make the playoffs this week. Like even if they win all 6 of these games against Toronto and Boston, that doesn't ensure that you go to the playoffs. You can definitely miss the playoffs with a bad week, and if you stumble and you get too far behind the other teams and now you dug yourself in too much of a hole. We've used the term kind of tread water. I think the Royals need to tread water against the good teams, against the Toronto and Boston, and they really got to make up for it against Washington and Chicago and Minnesota, who had a fire sale yesterday. That's how I'm kind of breaking the season down. You might lose the series. You probably will lose the series to Toronto, but the Royals really need to win that series against Boston and try to make up ground with the team that's directly ahead of them in the wild card standings.
Yeah, they just need to win. You know, whether it's Toronto, it's Boston, you start diving into the tiebreakers. If we're acknowledging that this is all for the final wild card spot in the American League, last year it came down to one game. Where was that one game? What was the one victory that allowed the Royals to edge out the Seattle Mariners to take that final wild card spot? I don't know. But all the games, to me, are important. Yeah, Boston, you need to take, even if you take 2 of 3, that season series is still an even 3-3. So the tiebreaker then becomes, how did you fare within your own division? Boston and Tampa, by the way. Tampa, if they stay in the fight, the Royals also split the season series with the Rays. So that, too, will come down to the tiebreaker of how did you fare against your own division. Thankfully, the Royals are in the Central with the white flag-waving Twins, the Chicago White Sox. Sure, those 6 games in 10 days coming up against Detroit at the end of the month are going to be difficult, and we'll see what the Cleveland Ball Club looks like when you see them again. But the White Sox games are big. The Twins games are big because if you don't handle the bad teams, well, then you're going to lose the tiebreaker to Boston. You're going to lose the tiebreaker to Tampa. If you don't beat up on Cleveland, you're going to lose the tiebreaker to them. And again, I don't know many people that believe that the third wild card race is going to be over before the final few weeks of the season. So honestly, with the hole that the team put themselves in the month of June, every game to me is going to be magnified down the stretch unless you believe this team is capable of rattling off a 15-5 stretch. I haven't seen enough from them, especially now with the pitching staff taking a hit with the loss of Bubic to go along with Reagans and Lorenzen. I haven't seen enough from this team to believe they can get that type of hot. Therefore, this thing's going to go down to the wire if the Royals, like you mentioned, are able to stay in it.
Right now, we're talking to our Royals insider, Josh Vernier, just going through some of the moves that the Royals have made over the last couple of days. All right, let's start with Ryan Bergert. He seems like the best player that they've acquired over the last couple of days. We had somebody on from San Diego yesterday. He believes that his ceiling is either being a 2 or a 3, at least how it looked to me, and I didn't know who he was 24 hours ago. He looks like, at least this season, he's kind of been used like Michael Lorenzen. What do you make of Ryan Bergert as a prospect? What do you think his ceiling is? What do you think are realistic expectations for him as a player?
Well, yeah, I don't know if he's the best player. He's the highest upside, certainly. Again, you refer to him as a prospect, so you can dream on him more than you can Kolek or Falter or Yastrzemski. Yeah, I mean, listen, so long as you can throw strikes, command your fastball, sure, he's certainly talented, but I've seen a lot of talented pitchers that can't command that fastball, and that devastating sweeper and slider are all for naught. And, certainly, if he doesn't show the ability to command that fastball over the course of a 4, 5, 6 inning trip, okay, then you can try him out in the bullpen. And again, that's what's nice about a prospect, about being young and having a big arm, is you can try him out in the rotation. If that doesn't work, you can move him to the bullpen. Certainly, yeah, he has all of the metrics and the pitches that you're looking for, but can you do it consistently? Can you do it every 5th day? Can you go through a lineup a 3rd time? These are the questions that only the big leagues can ultimately answer for the young right-hander. Yeah, we'll see. I'm not putting him in the same breath as a Cole Reagans yet. He hasn't done what Noah Cameron's done in this game. Obviously hasn't done what Lugo or Waka have done in this game. So, those 4 guys, I'm more excited to see what they do in 2026, and certainly down the stretch more so than I am the newly acquired right-hander. I'm excited for him. He passes the eye test, but go do it.
Let's move down the line. Stephen Kolek, I saw that he got optioned to AAA. He seems to me like best case scenario, at least for this organization, is he's a guy that comes up if injuries happen. He's a guy that you think can start, but more than likely he's a long reliever. That's how it appears to me. What do you see his role kind of becoming with this organization?
Well, like you mentioned, right now he's going to AAA. To me, he's more of your Michael Lorenzen type, more so than Ryan Bergert. Yeah, I mean, a guy that you just acquired and sent to Omaha. That's what I think of him. He's an arm, And this team has lost a lot of arms, but no, I wouldn't tell you to go out and buy the jersey of any of these guys. You know, we could talk about all of them. Bailey Falter, Mike Yastrzemski, all nice moves, but I don't think any of these guys are among the 12 best players on your team.
Yeah, I mean, this was kind of my take, at least on the deadline is, I mean, once they re-signed Seth Lugo, they just kind of let me know, well, we're not giving up anything that can get us back something special. Like Lugo, who knows what he could have got you back. You aren't going to trade Bubic right now. He's injured. He's out for the rest of the season. So maybe you at least flirted with the idea. That's not really realistic that you were going to trade him now in that scenario. So I'm looking at this team. They are definitely better than they were a week ago. I think they're small, minor moves, but I'm looking at their lineup today. I mean, I think this is one of the best lineups that they've had so far this season. I certainly see an improvement when I'm looking at 6 through 9 in the back half of that lineup. This is a better and more complete team. Is it going to be enough? Is it good enough? I doubt it, but I certainly see an organization that at least tried to put themselves in a better situation for the final 2 months of the season. And who knows what happens? The Royals have a 1-8 chance of making the postseason.
Yeah, what they did with the Seth Lugo deal is refuse to give up on this season. And also Seth Lugo allowed them to do that by leaving some money on the table. John Sherman allowed them to do that by ponying up a fair offer for Seth Lugo. But yeah, the deals yesterday at the deadline, to me, what they excite me, or how they excite me, is the power J.J. Piccolo could wield this offseason. So long as Bubic is back and healthy, Bubic, Reagans, Lugo, Waka, Cameron, there's your starting rotation. Throw on top of that the young man you just mentioned, the right-hander Ryan Bergert, and a Bailey Falter. Okay, now this offseason where all 29 teams would be interested in Chris Bubic, would be interested in Bailey Falter, would be interested in Ryan Bergert. Royals will hold quite a bit of leverage, or they'll hold the cards, I should say, this offseason. If you're trying to improve this offense and maybe you're reluctant to throw more money at a bat this offseason, you think trading is the way to go, you could move a Bubic. You could move one of these arms. So, that excites me. Also, having all of these options for 2026 and beyond, I think the Royals did a nice job of not making any foolish decisions to go all in for a 2025 ball club that, in my opinion, hasn't earned that type of an aggressive move to where you're parting with something that you truly prize to go for it this season. So I'm happy. Happy with the spot that the Royals find themselves in. Happy with the way that they showed that clubhouse and showed the fan base that it isn't the Royals franchise that you grew up with, where we are pinching pennies. We are trying to cut every single quarter we can. No, we'll do what it takes to put a better product on the field, and replacing MJ Melendez with Mike Yastrzemski makes you a better team. Losing Freddie Fermin hurts, but you get the right-handed bat of Nick Lofton back today with the team. You're going to bring Bailey Falter. He's not going to be on the team tonight, but when he is activated, he takes the spot of a Thomas Hatch. When the righty that we're talking about, Ryan Berger, when he comes up, he can take the roster spot of a Jonathan Bolin. So you're not making yourself top heavy. You're grabbing those final 5, 6, 7 spots on the roster and just kind of rounding this team into form. Like you mentioned, a better 26-man roster today than a week ago.
I'll get you out of here with this because this stat just blows my mind. MJ Melendez has 5 hits for the Royals this year, just 5. I mean, Randall Grichuk, he's going to get that by the end of this series against the Blue Jays.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that was there's part of me that, man, don't even put those statistics up there on Crown Vision. Nobody wants to see that. Nobody. Man,
I'm actually hoping that we
catcher,
never see MJ Melendez on Crown Vision again.
Yeah, well, I certainly don't think you'll have to worry about that in 2025. He might be arbitration eligible next season, so maybe you'll see him on Crown Vision as a visitor.
He needs to go play for the Savannah Bananas. That would be my suggestion for MJ Melendez. Vern, I am very excited to hear your conversation with the owner of the Royals. We're going to play that next, man. Thanks a lot for popping on today.
Thank you.
Absolutely. That is Josh Vernier joining us on the show. Coming up, we are going to all hear this together in real time. I have not heard it. Rob, how long is this? The conversation with 16 minutes. We get 16 minutes of Vern sitting down with the owner of the Kansas City Royals. We'll play it for you next. Don't turn that dial. It's 96.5 The Fan.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison. Catch Hall of Famer Denny Matthews every Monday at 3.
And gone, Bobby Witt.
On your home for Royals baseball, 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
It's time. Time for the pro to get everything for the job delivered. Large orders of lumber, doors, windows, paint, plumbing, anything the job needs, all from one partner. Get it today with same-day delivery. Get it tomorrow with next-day delivery on 50,000 plus products. Or get it on your timeline with scheduled delivery on everything from framing to flooring. It's time to get your whole job, all your jobs delivered. Ask about all our new delivery options at the Pro Desk. The Home Depot Pro, it's about time.
DQ presents The Sound of Happy. Hear that? That's the DQ Chicken Strip Basket. Only $7.49 for a limited time. We're talking 4 100% white meat seasoned chicken strips served with fries, Texas toast, and DQ's signature country gravy. Yeah, you heard that right. For crunch time and no time, it can only be the DQ Chicken Strip Basket. Just $7.49 for a limited time. Get it delivered in the DQ app. Happy tastes good at participating locations.
GimmeTheVin.com's big cash giveaway. I hate games and scams. So when we had the idea to give away $25,000, I was very careful about the way it was orchestrated. Get the top of the market money and enter to be the lucky person to get $25,000. This is no joke. This is no game. This is very real. Just like GimmeTheVin.com.
No purchase necessary. For official rules, go to GimmeTheVin.com.
Sell us your car. GimmeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Do you have $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is letting everyone know about great debt relief options now available to help people with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of your credit card debt. Get a free debt relief consultation when you call 800-586-4040. 800-586-4040. 800-586-4040.
What's that sound? That's the sound of Downy Unstoppable scent beads going into your washing machine and giving your clothes freshness that lasts all day long. There it is again. It's like music to your ears, or more like music to your nose. That freshness is irresistible. Let's get a Downy Unstoppables bottle shake. And now a sniff solo. Nice. With Downy Unstoppables, you just toss, wash, wow, for all-day freshness.
DQ presents The Sound of Happy. Hear that? That's the DQ Chicken Strip Basket. Only $7.49 for a limited time. We're talking 4 100% white meat seasoned chicken strips served with fries, Texas toast, and DQ's signature country gravy. Yeah, you heard that right. For crunch time and no time, it can only be the DQ Chicken Strip Basket. Just $7.49 for a limited time. Get it delivered in the DQ app. Happy tastes good at participating locations.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy. In 2011, I founded Wesley Financial Group with one goal in mind: to help honest folks out of their timeshares permanently. Today, I run Wesley with my 2 sons, a real family business, treating every client and every employee like we'd want our own family treated. That philosophy has helped us grow into the largest, most trusted timeshare cancellation company in the United States. Fortune magazine even recognized us as one of the best places to work. Why? Because we genuinely care. In fact, some of our former clients were so moved by their experience working with us, they joined our team so they could help others to timeshare freedom. If you're stuck in a timeshare, give us a call. Let our family help your family.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit kit. 800-581-1414. That's 800-581-1414. 800-581-1414.
We didn't take to retirement like we thought we would.
We got bored.
So I thought I'd book a trip to Italy to celebrate retiring.
We didn't speak Italian.
We didn't then. We do now. Because of Babbel.
Babbel is the refreshingly easy-to-use app for learning a new language. With more than a dozen languages to choose, Babbel uses immersive lessons to teach you vocabulary and grammar in a way that sticks.
We set a goal for 15 minutes per day.
That's all we needed.
And Italy was just...
Bellissima.
That means beautiful.
In Italian.
From interactive lessons led by experts to conversation tips on real-life topics, Babbel's revolutionary teaching style keeps language in your head and easy to remember. Celebrating 15 million subscriptions sold. Save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription when you sign up at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Tonight, expect smoky conditions with a low of 61.
Weather brought to you by Staples. Have you heard? The Staples Easy button is back with even more easy. Press it for custom prints, shipping services, even passport photos. Staples. That was easy.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Still dealing with the wreck in Raytown, 435 southbound just past Gregory. It is the right lane blocked. Olathe, that's a two-car crash. 35 northbound before 119th. Right lane blocked from the Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, Electric Traffic Center on Val. 96.5 The Fan.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios.
Hey, it's Cole Reagans from the Kansas City Royals. You're listening to The Drive with C-Dot on 96.5 The Fan.
All right, I have not heard this. You have not heard this. No one has actually heard this. This is a world premiere. Our very own Josh Vernier, our Royals insider, got the opportunity to sit down and talk to John Sherman. This is a 16-minute conversation between Josh Vernier and John Sherman, the owner and CEO of the Kansas City Royals. Their conversation starts with how the owner feels about the Royals heading into the final 2 months of the season.
I like the momentum we put together here in July. I think obviously was concerned about pitchers dropping like flies. I think a couple of them are coming back internally, but we also, I think, solved that rotation challenge yesterday. You know, it's I don't know exactly what the plan is, but, you know, 3 major league pitchers with years of control. We got a full rotation again. And so that's as it relates to the next few months here. But if you think about as we enter the off season and think about next year, I mean, we're deep again, and it's important, right? Starting pitching. When I was in Cleveland, Francona always used to say, if you have a lot of good pitching, get some more, and you can never have enough. And I think I kind of felt personally, you know, earlier in the year with our rotation healthy and, you know, Alec Marsh maybe getting healthy and Kyle Wright, you know, doing this, and I almost felt like we had an embarrassment of riches, but you know, you never do, right? And so I really feel good about giving us a chance to do something special here in the next 2 months. We'll see what happens, and but I feel really good about what we did for ourselves for the future as well.
2 months away from, you know, the calendar flipping to October, how difficult does the path to the postseason look for the boys in blue?
Well, I think it's always difficult. You know, it's you know, but people say all you got to do is, you know, snap off 10 in a row or something like that. But I don't think that's how you get. If that happens, that's great. But I think you get back in it and start chasing it like we've done here the last 3 series. All right, we won 3 series in a row. I'm still. Usually I put these games behind me real fast, but I still see that Stowers walk-off in Miami. I think it should have been 4 in a row. But I think that's how we get back in this. We chip away. We play consistently. Our pitching's, you know, keeping us in the games again, and we'll see what happens.
Speaking of that, a walk-off, you know, a disappointing loss here and there. Have you had doubt with this team this season? Has anyone had to fire you up at some point to stay in the fight?
Look, I listened to you on the way home, so it's when we lose a game, those you know, it always hurts, right? It always hurts, but you don't have any choice in this game, you know, the next day to bounce back, right? And so I think I wouldn't say I've had doubts. I have, it's been one of those years, I think, with what we accomplished last year, historic turnaround, and got in the postseason and had some success. I think we all had higher expectations of ourselves. And so I do feel like we haven't met those expectations. Look, we're still in this, and, we can talk more about that. I mean, when I say we, I mean the team. We'll talk more about that when the season's over. I think right now it's heads down, and let's see if we can do something special for our fans. But I wouldn't say what was the term you used?
Stay in the fight, a doubt.
But doubt. I mean, this is a tough business, right? It humbles you, and it sobers you up when you think. And there's some parts of our game we haven't performed as well as we had in the past, and I think everybody feels that. We expect more of ourselves. So I think that's where the focus is now, right? We got, what do we have, 53 games left? Let's see what we can make happen from here to the finish line, and hopefully we can push into October.
You mentioned
that, but that's up to these guys, right? I don't miss a game out here unless there's a major conflict, and the owner can help on days like yesterday, although I didn't really need to help, right? Because it was from a resource standpoint, it was a relatively neutral day, right? So, but I can help when we talk about what we're going to do with Seth Lugo. But on a day-to-day basis, not much I can do except be a fan out here and enjoy watching these guys.
Speaking of Seth Lugo, I'm curious. What do you hope that extension says to the fan base?
Well, I hope it. What I hope it did, well, I kind of think about what it did for the team, right? I think when you think about a talent like that, and, if we couldn't have signed him, JJ has to evaluate seeing what we could get for him, right? But we'd been talking about that, and we thought, what else could we do for our team than take a guy that was a runner-up last year in the Cy Young? He's pitching well again. He's a leader in the clubhouse. He sets a great example. He means a lot to our fans. He's a stopper. When we need an outing, he steps up and does it. What else? What could we possibly do that would be more important than that for our team right now? So I hope that's the message. And this is about building this thing for the long haul too. I mean, I guess that's the other thing, right? This, we could have helped our team. If we traded him, I'm sure we would have helped our team, but it probably would have been with some prospects or maybe something else packaged up. But I don't think it would have been as good as making sure we got this guy around here for the next couple of years, if not maybe another year after that.
Talking about Lugo's deal, Waka's deal, even Bobby's deal, it reflects really well on you and your ownership group. It also runs counter to what other small market clubs often find themselves doing. Is that just reflective of you and your ownership group being more competitive?
It's I don't know. It's hard to put we want to compete, but we want to do this. We want to do something special for our fans. I think we'd love to compete. We'd love to put a great team on the field, but this business is really about putting a good product on the field, right? And exciting the fans, whether it's in stadium, whether it's listening to it, whether it's watching it, whether it's connecting it on their phone, whatever it is. That's where there's a lot of other things that go into this business. That's where it all starts. And I think we talked early on, and JJ's been great. He understands it's. To have sustained success, it's not easy. We're finding out right now, right? And we talked for a minute about the big turnaround and making the postseason and having some success. We're experiencing how hard it is to get back, right? But that's the great thing, I think, about this game. You get feedback, this business. You get feedback every day, right? There's not too many businesses where you get this. You're going out and you're competing against the best people in the world at what they do, and you find out you've got a lot of feedback as to where you are. So it's a constant reminder of what you got to do to get better. But it's also a business where, we talk about sustained success, but it's continuous improvement, right? It's all about, like yesterday, this whole business is about evaluating and selecting talent, making the most of that, developing that talent, and then getting the most out of that talent, whether they become a major league player out here or whether you utilize that talent to make your team better via trade. And we saw some of that yesterday. In fact, I'm rambling here a little bit, but Freddie, that's a guy that everybody loves. I mean, not just for what he does at the weight, but, at the end of the day, this is a great opportunity for Freddie. He has worked hard. He's earned the opportunity to be the number one guy for a team that's going to be competing for a playoff spot. And then we get, because he did that, we get 2 starting pitchers with years of control. It's pretty remarkable.
And I think he left an impact. I think Freddie's legacy inside that clubhouse, whether it's in spring training or here.
No doubt. Yeah. Even off the field. He's one of the guys that is a classroom champion in the public schools. In our Royals Literacy League, he goes into the classroom and inspires kids. I mean, it's pretty remarkable. I can't have a favorite player. When I get to who's your favorite player, I say I love them all. But I will tell you that I think everybody thinks Freddie was a special guy and is a special guy, and not just a player, but a great human being.
Yeah, no question. You mentioned earlier about the pitching depth that this team's going to have in the offseason, and I think many people can take that and wonder, the organization will hold a lot of cards this offseason and avenues to possibly improve the team. But with those contracts that I mentioned, Awaka, Lugo, Bobby, you also have a lot of guys hitting arbitration next season for the first time. Right. Will the aggressiveness in free agency that we've seen over the past 2 seasons, can that continue? Is it proper for that to continue?
Well, it can't go unfettered or unchecked, right? We have to have discipline, right? But we're willing to, when you talk about this ownership team being more competitive, I think the other thing I think about this ownership group is we're all local. When I say not everybody lives here, but they're all either grew up here, have a connection to Kansas City, and I think when you have local ownership, that group's going to be more willing to stretch than somebody that's kind of again, it's not required, but I think Major League Baseball likes it when we have local ownership because you're going to be willing to stretch. But to answer your question, you have to manage the business, right? We're willing to be aggressive. We can't. We're not going to spend like the Mets or the Yankees or the Dodgers. But I think there's within that framework we can be competitive, and we want to be smart about. You have to have a mix of young players and veterans, and I think right now I like what we have, but we'll have to manage that as time goes on. Now you think about the pitching that it's a pretty, Waka and Lugo are on, but that's a pretty cost-effective rotation if you really think about it. With a lot of young guys, Bubic is in arbitration, obviously, and Cole, we did that deal with him. But these other guys are pre-arb, and I think Falter he'll be first year arbitration next year. So these are manageable. But those are things we'll have to look in the offseason. JJ may have some ideas about utilizing that. I almost hesitate to say excess capacity because there is no excess capacity in pitching. But I do think last year, with feeling Chris's coming back and we were able to trade Brady Singer at a point in time that made sense for us.
I want to ask, we mentioned Freddie. I want to ask about a couple of other Venezuelans, beginning with Mike Hell. I looked it up, one of only 8 big leaguers right now qualified big leaguers hitting better than 300.
Yeah.
It's amazing that's it. It's only 8 guys in the big
leagues. Right,
it
is amazing.
300, but
it is amazing.
One of them's a Royal.
It is amazing.
What do you think this 25-year-old could turn into?
Oh, I think it's very exciting what he's doing this year. I don't know. He didn't play winter ball last year. I think last year it was a long season. When you play winter ball and then come up here, not a lot of major leaguers do that, but he certainly showed up great. I know he made some changes in his approach, and it's paying off. And every time you think, okay, he'll come back down to earth or slow down, he comes out here and gets, like the other night against the Braves, he got 3 or 4 hits that one night.
He put on a show for his cousin.
Yeah, there you go. No, he was
fun to watch.
He had a good series for sure. But no, he's a great, really important part of our team, and certainly want him to be around here for a while as well.
Speaking of that, Salvador Perez could become a free agent this offseason. You'll handle that when you handle that, but how does that even hit the ears, the idea of Salvi being a free agent?
No, he's the heart and soul of our team. We have a club option here. I know JJ wants him to be here. I know there's been some discussions. Right now I think heads down on doing what we need to do, but we'll have some things to talk about as soon as the season's over.
You mentioned earlier, though.
When I say we, JJ, that's JJ's job, but he knows how much we value Salvi.
You mentioned the constant feedback you're receiving, not only outside of Kauffman Stadium, but I see you conversing with the fans all the time inside Kauffman Stadium. What are you hearing right now from your fan base?
Most of what I hear from the fan base is gratitude. Every once in a while I'll hear somebody mumble "sell the team" when they walk by me. But that's a minority. That's probably mired in something else. But in reality, it's really more about gratitude. I think people feel like we're not where we expected to be right now, but we're in it, right? And I think we talk a lot about if we could play important baseball and baseball that matters in August and September every year. That creates opportunity, it creates hope for our fans. So I think, that's what I primarily hear. Every once in a while, right now they'll ask about the stadium, and that's certainly something that I think at this point it's more about wanting that decision to be made. So everybody, it's just something on people's mind, and that's, I would just say about that. We feel like we've got a really good process going on that, but I would just say at the end of the day, the objective of that process is to make sure that the Kansas City Royals and Major League Baseball stay in Kansas City for the next 50 years. And, that is really, when I think about our legacy, that is really fulfilling Mr. Kauffman's promise to Kansas City when he brought the team back here. And I've always felt like that responsibility was passed on to me by the Glass family, and it's something I take very seriously. So that's really the objective of that process. And I think at some point that's where we're going to get to, and we'll make a decision, and we'll know what our future holds, and that'll be a great time to press on and quit having to answer that question. Yeah. But it's really about at the end of the day, again, if we can win for these fans, that's what's most important. And give them a great experience out here at the ballpark.
Yeah, you mentioned we can be done with that question about the stadium. I'm with you, especially on post-game when I get the, they're only spending money for the new stadium. I'm like, who cares why they're spending money? Just be happy.
Oh, you mean that we're trying to win for the new? Yeah.
Only for the new stadium.
Yeah, that's
okay,
not.
Whatever
that's
the reason
that's
is.
not the deal. We're trying to win because we want to win, and we want to do it for our fans.
That was John Sherman. He sat down with our Royals insider, Josh Verner. If you missed any part of it, be sure to check out the podcast page over on 965thefan.com and also the Odyssey app. I wrote down, I think, 4 points as he was speaking, because I don't really think, I guess, the content matters as much. Like, I'm not here to knock the interview at all. I think it's much more about the tone and sort of how he speaks about it. I don't know how you can hear that and not think that John Sherman is involved on the day-to-day business and dealings of the Royals. He did not speak about that as someone who is not around and then pops in every once in a while to kind of peek his head in and wonder about his investment. He spoke about that like someone who sits in on meetings. He spoke as if someone who, I am having conversations with our team to figure out what we need to do to win and how we put ourselves in the best position. I think the number one thing, and it sounds crazy to think, but the number one thing I think you want your baseball owner to do is to care about the on-field product. Because we can look around Major League Baseball, and especially a lot of teams with payrolls like the Royals, I don't know if that's the case everywhere. I mean, buying a Major League Baseball team, it's a status thing. There's not a lot of teams that are out there. Everybody doesn't get access to buying a team. Mark Cuban tried to buy the Cubs. The other owners just told him simply, no. We are not going to approve you buying the Cubs. So people buy teams for a lot of different reasons. The number one reason I want you to buy a team is because I think you care about the product. And I think you care about whether we win or not. You at least got a chance with that kind of owner. Now, he's got to hire the right people. He has to make the right decisions and empower them and give them the ability to have success. But number one, you got to care. I don't know how you can hear John Sherman talk about the second half of the season and come away with any other conclusion other than he cares about the product. That's the number one thing that I noticed as he was talking. The number two thing is Salvi's not going anywhere. I think that was clear that Salvi's not going anywhere. Salvi has a club option. It is not a mutual option. It is the Royals' choice if Salvi is on the team next year. He just confirmed it, that he's coming back next year. Yeah, we're picking that up. He's the heart and soul of this team. He's super important. I have communicated with JJ what I want to happen. We want Salvi in a Royals uniform. So I thought those were the two noteworthy things. I also want to get to what he talked about the trade deadline, as this team has made a handful of moves. And as they get ready for the final 2 months of the season, I want you guys' thoughts as well. 913-586-7965. We're off a little early today because the Royals are in the Eastern time zone. We'll talk more about John Sherman's appearance with Josh Vernier. That's next. Keep it right here. So Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison. On your new home for Royals baseball, 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
At Casey's, we're too nice to say no. So when someone asked for a free frozen drink, we said, sure. Then they said, every Friday all summer? And, well, now we're giving away free medium frozen drinks every Friday. Free Frozen Fridays with Casey's Rewards. It's not crazy, it's Casey's. See store for details.
Having unexpected car trouble or just in a car accident? Call Jay Southland Tow Service, 816-779-4869 or southlandtow.com. Use the tow service trusted by most local police departments. They can do it all. Be in the know and call Jay's Southland Tow.
Car wreck? Get the money you deserve. Mike's got this.
Paid for client portrayal and endorsement. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Give me one good reason why I should call DM Law.
How about 3 great reasons? 1, it's easy. 2, it's fast. 3, the results.
Mike's got this. 816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Hey, Drew and Jonathan Scott here. Build a customized renter's policy with American Family Insurance so you can protect your tandem bike on the go. Thief! Oh, he is struggling with that two-seater. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Some exclusions may apply. Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI and its operating companies. 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Chiefs Kingdom, are we ready to play? It's time for the Chiefs Kingdom scratch ticket, only from the Kansas Lottery. You could win up to $75,000 instantly, with even more ways to win exclusive, one-of-a-kind Kansas City Chiefs experiences through the Play On app. Play the Kansas Lottery Chiefs Kingdom scratch ticket today. See kslottery.com for details.
The summer selection is on at Reiselman Nissan, and 0% financing is back. Get 0% APR for 5 full years on new Rogues, Muranos, and Pathfinders. Or go long with 1.9% for 72 months, or 84 months at just 3.49% APR. Get up to $6,000 in total rebates on the rugged Frontier. And if you're leasing, you'll pay 0 sales tax. That's real savings. Nobody in Kansas City beats our deals or our selections. Visit Reiselman.com for details. Reiselman Nissan, every customer, every time.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more, 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, hims.com/joy.
Numerous brands to choose from, endless options, one incredible experience. At Aristocrat Motors, we treat every driver like royalty and offer the finest luxury vehicle experience in Kansas City. Come see us today and let us roll out the red carpet for you.
This Saturday only, the John Clay Wolf Show, normally heard 9 to noon on The Fan, is moving up. Catch it from 7 to 9 a.m. this Saturday. Same wild ride, just earlier. Only on 96.5 The Fan.
Rob Site Ford. Non-commissioned staff, low prices, best trade-ins, and the biggest selection. Visit robsite.com.
When it comes to buying a car, simple wins. Rob Site Ford has the inventory, the trade values, and the non-commissioned team that puts you first. No pressure, just 4.8 stars on Google for a reason. ROBSIGHT.com.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
This one brought to you by DM Injury Law. You've got the multi-car crash, Grandview, 49 southbound at Maine. The left lane is blocked. An onlooker delay from the other side. Olathe, the wreck is still there. 35 northbound before 119th. From the Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, Electric Traffic Center, I'm Bow 96.5 The Fan.
Be sure to follow The Drive on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
I'm always interested in how you guys think and how you guys feel. And the John Sherman thing is a little confusing to me. Now, I don't want to make it seem like I'm the biggest John Sherman fan and supporter in the world. But a lot of the boxes that I think fans should want checked with their baseball owner, I think he checks. I mean, he tried to get a downtown stadium in Kansas City, Missouri. It got shot down. He's never publicly entertained trying to move the team away. I mean, he could, right? I mean, he could. He's never flirted with the idea of moving the team, ever. Never flirted with the idea of doing it. They also have a superstar baseball player on their team, and they signed him to a long-term extension. It's also, when you kind of put it against like the last owner that they had, and rest in peace, I'm not here to speak ill on the dead. I mean, David Glass bought the Royals in 2000, and it took him a decade and an all-star game to come out and say, hey, we really got good baseball fans. Maybe I should start investing in the team. That is not even an opinion by me. He said it in 2012. He bought the team in 2000. It took him a decade to kind of see like, hey, maybe if I kind of put some money into this thing and pump some resources into it, maybe we actually could be good. I don't really know what John Sherman at this point as an owner, I don't know how drastically different it could be than what it is. I mean, they've made the postseason one of the years. They've kept Bobby Witt Jr., and he seems to spend money to keep the players that you want to keep. They haven't lost anybody, and they haven't used financial reasons as the reason why. It's just a little bit odd to me. One thing, too, that maybe this is just like a personal feeling that I have. So, like, if you are one of the people that believes that he is spending money to get the stadium built, like, you're allowed to have that opinion. I've never understood that for this reason. Let's say that tomorrow, somebody donates $5 million to a food bank, right? $5 million. Let's say that they do a tour of look how much money I donated. Yes, it is very self-aggrandizing. Yes, it is. You still donated $5 million to a food bank. I imagine you can feed a lot of people with that. I guess the whole concept of like, even if you think that's why they do these things, like even if you think, well, hey, they only signed Bobby Witt Jr. because of the new stadium. Well, they only kept Seth Lugo because of the new stadium. I mean, great. That's fine. Whatever the reason is that you spend money on the baseball team, I'm fine with. I don't care the reason why. What reason do you want him to say then? We're doing this because we want to be competitive. Well, obviously. I mean, they're keeping score for a reason. I'm not the biggest John Sherman defender in the world, but some of the criticism towards him are just very odd to me, very weird to me when it comes to John Sherman. I think he's fine. I think John Sherman is the best possible owner that the Royals can have. I think he really cares. I think he is committed to building a community around the Royals. And I guess the really cares part to me is I think he is actively involved in the day-to-day. Actively. I think he is in constant communication with their general manager. I think he watches the team and follows the team. And I think he is willing to spend money to help the Royals be competitive. I don't know what other kind of owner you think the Royals are going to have. I think he's the best possible owner for an organization like they are.
I understood around the vote, which, by the way, is 2 years ago now. I understood around, I guess not 2 years, 18 months, whatever. I understood a little bit of people being upset with John Sherman at that time. But now it just feels like if you don't like him, it's because you're going out of your way to dislike him. He has been, in the time as Royals owner, his first 5 years, a better owner than David Glass was in the first 5 years he owned the Royals. And again, I'm not speaking ill of the dead. David Glass, the first 5 years, didn't live in Kansas City and was interested in pocketing money. John Sherman is a local who, in that interview with Vern, said he goes to games and he watches games and they make him upset when they lose. Like the Kyle Stowers home run that upset fans, it upset your owner too. Ask David Glass, again, RIP, a random game from 2002. Hey, did you see it? No, he was in Arkansas. So I get why the vote thing turned people off, but at this point, the vote is so far in the rearview mirror. It's time to start looking at what he's doing for the baseball team.
I honestly don't even understand the vote. Every owner is doing what the Royals tried to do. What did the Royals do than any other team?
That's true.
They have an idea to build a stadium. They then put it on the vote. You had an opportunity to vote yes or vote no. What team is not doing that? So your issue with John Sherman is that he's like all the other rich people? Okay. We don't have an issue with Clark Hunt trying to do that. Clark Hunt was a part of the same thing. And if they stay in Missouri, the same tax that you voted against, they're then going to offer to keep the tax for themselves. If your issue with John Sherman is he wanted you to help pay for the stadium, then you just don't want the Royals to have an owner then. Because every owner was going to ask them to do that. It just doesn't make any sense. Someone on the text line says, CDOT, if they think Sherman bought the team to make money, people are way off. There's no money in baseball. I don't know what you're talking about. David Glass bought the Royals for $96 million and sold it for $1 billion. Seemed like there was a lot of money in baseball to me. It seemed like there's a whole lot of money. He also owns something that an entire state wants to build them a new baseball stadium. Seems like there's a lot of money in baseball.
I don't really care what the organization is. If you own a professional sports team, you're making money.
No question.
Me and you are not hockey fans. I guarantee the owner of the Colorado Avalanche is doing pretty well financially.
Phenomenal. Sell this thing at any point. You can sell this thing tomorrow, and I'll triple my money, my investment. I mean, John Sherman could sell the Royals right now and make money. He bought it for $1 billion. Royals are probably worth now, 1.5, maybe $2 billion. There's just not a whole lot of other stadiums. Someone said Steve Ballmer bought his own stadiums. Otherwise, you're right. Steve Ballmer is one of the 10 richest people in the world. In the world. John Sherman got money. He ain't got Steve Ballmer money. That's different. How much do you think Steve Ballmer's worth? Just a random guess. How much do you think Steve Ballmer's worth?
I'm trying to think what Gates is worth. It's probably very similar. So multiple hundreds of billions.
According to Forbes, Steve Ballmer is worth $142.5 billion.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah, he doesn't need your money. He doesn't need your money. To be fair, John Sherman shares ownership with other people. Steve Ballmer doesn't need your help. He didn't need help coming up with the capital. John Sherman did. There's like 40 people that put money in to buy the Royals. Now, he is the majority owner. Yeah, I don't think he had $1 billion laying around in cash. So, yes, you're right. Ballmer is a different... He's worth $142.5 billion. He paid cash for the Clippers and then bought the land and built the stadium. His money different. His money's different. 100% different than everybody else's. We had a lot of fun this week. Hopefully you guys had a lot of fun. We'll be back on Monday. Until then, I'll let Daniel Craig take you home.
Ladies and gentlemen, the weekend.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your new home for K-State Athletics, 96.5. The Fan, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
We didn't take to